for the new Mountain West member Grand Canyon University. Sweet stuff, Gordon. So chugging Mountain Dew, teaching people math. We love Mountain Dew, and we don't know anything about math.
Right.
So you fit right in here.
Maybe Mountain Dew would make me better at math.
Keep drinking it. Let's find out.
Spivak's just hoping Mountain Dew makes me better at radio. So I'm trying, Drew. I'm trying.
We're trying. We'll keep chugging it. That's for sure. All right. Keep the text coming in. Same thing over on YouTube. Tribe Roll Call. Who are you? Where are you? What are you doing for $1 today? Let us give you and your company a shout out on the show. Cecil, you said it yesterday, man. Is a trade necessary for these Denver Broncos? The NFL trade deadline, it's 2 weeks from today. So will the Broncos be active? What position or positions are they going to be targeting? Let's have that conversation next.
Bo Nix and the Broncos snatched victory from the jaws of defeat and took down the Giants with a thrilling come-from-behind performance. Nearly halfway through his sophomore season, has Bo shown enough to prove he can be the next franchise QB in the Mile High City. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 720-459-HAIR, advancedhair.com.
Another summer has ended, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive, perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time, maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic and get treated for your low T, because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
It matters who your lawyer is. At Berg Simpson, we truly care about the quality of work we do, that fair compensation is given, and that our clients are getting the best possible representation. We're proud of that, and it shows.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives. It's not just a slogan, it's who we are.
Who wants the lowest rate for life?
I do.
Everyone does, but it's only U.S. Mortgages. Lock in a low rate today, and if rates fall in the future, we will redo your loan and lower your rate without any lender fees, including the appraisal. There's no limit to the number of times you can do this. Always have the lowest rate for life. Get our 475 5-year fixed rate, 5.89 APR. Call 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 392126.
You could save thousands of dollars on the products your business uses the most with the Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred Pricing. Registering is free and easy. Just have your tax ID or business or contractor's license ready. But don't wait. The current preferred pricing benefit will end on November 15th. Visit your local Pro Desk to register now and unlock the deepest savings on the products you choose.
Announcing Williams Jewelers Annual Antique and Vintage Jewelry Trunk Show, October 23rd through 25th.
Come shop millions in estate, antique, pre-owned jewelry, and engagement rings that are precious, rare, and truly collectible.
Art Deco and Art Nouveau pieces, including signed Cartier, Van Cleef, Tiffany, David Webb, and many more.
If you're a jewelry collector, you just don't want to miss it.
Many of these finely crafted treasures could not be duplicated today. Most are handcrafted and one of a kind.
Williams Jewelers Annual Antique and Vintage Jewelry Trunk Show. 3 big days only, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, October 23rd, 24th, and 25th.
We're in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue between Fillmore and Detroit.
Williams Jewelers Antique and Vintage Jewelry Trunk Show.
It's Denver's estate jewelry event of the year.
Don't miss it.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
Williams Jewelers in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue between Fillmore and Detroit, where Colorado shines.
Tune into Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Wednesdays at 9:15 to hear ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky break down Bo Nix and the Broncos every week during football season. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents Dover and Cecil.
We're up and rolling on a Tuesday edition of the program. I got to get to this text. I always love when I see these ones. Longtime listener, first-time Tribe texter. Welcome, my friend. It's Richie. He's out here in Colorado Springs working for the Memorial Hospital in Deceased Affairs Department, helping families with next steps for their loved ones who have passed away. That's tough, man. You guys definitely help keep the vibes up throughout this day. Richie, that's cool. That's cool that you help, or we are allowed to help you.
Right.
And that you give us that opportunity, and it's cool that you're helping people with literally the hardest parts of their lives.
I told the ladies up in Casper when my mother was in hospice, I said, there's real angels in this world, and you guys are it.
Yeah.
So thank you. And thank you to Richie. Thank you to all who help out in that way during those tough times.
Tough, yeah.
Yeah. So there are real angels out there, and you're it.
Richie, that's a home run text, my man. You're a top-tier Tribe member for what you do off the field here. That's outstanding stuff from our guy Richie. So keep them coming. We want to give everybody a shout-out as we can get to as many as we can every day on the show with a little Tribe roll call. Who are you? Where are you? And what are you doing for a buck today? All right, trade season. It's here, right? 2 weeks from today. Is it 4 o'clock Mountain Time, I believe it is? So 2 weeks from 4 o'clock.
2 o'clock Mountain.
2
4
o'clock
o'clock
Mountain
Eastern.
Time. So by the time our show ends in 2 weeks from now, the trade window will be closed, and we'll see if the Broncos were active at all. There's already been a couple of trades, and we talked about them getting aggressive for inside linebacker help once we started to see some movement. But you said something yesterday, Cece. You said it a couple times, and you said it one more time as we were getting out of here, cross-talking with The Drive. You said they might have to trade for a running back. JK is clearly RB number one. He should get more opportunity, but Sean Payton's stubborn, hard-headed, and can't get out of his own way when it comes to his ego. RJ Harvey has done nothing, and maybe that's hurt Sean's plan a little bit of getting two backs involved. But you say go trade for a running back. What would that do? I guess Breece Hall, is that the name that you're thinking about? Zach floated that out a couple of weeks ago.
That's I will save my opinion on a potential Breece Hall trade for another time.
Okay.
I don't think that's the call. That's too much. That's too expensive. That's too pie in the sky, so to speak. I don't mind it. I don't want ZB to get offended, but like it's a nice suggestion.
It was like kind of fantasy
but
world.
we need less fantasy football, more real world, and there's more than a few that you could trade for that could really help out this team.
And what are you willing to give up? I guess the name will change what the price tag is going to be.
Yeah.
But how valuable is a second running back for you for these Denver Broncos the rest of the way?
Is he a second or is he a share of the first? Like, I think we need to recalibrate what we're saying about J.K. Dobbins. If Sean's not going to give him like 12, 14 carries, your running backs need to have like 35 carries combined. As a team, you need to be – and if Bo Nix has 5 carries and J.K. has 15, let's say, there's 20. Well, where's another 10 at? You need someone that can handle 10 carries, and there are players out there that can do that and that could kind of share that backfield, share that workload. I know that JK got offended. Get as offended as you like, JK, saying that he's not injury prone. Well, guess what? Yeah, he kind of is. I know it's 2 major injuries, but it's also like a lot of little injuries. And if we look towards last year he faded as the season went on. So do you want that again? So I'm going to ask you, and I ask Broncos country, do you want a backup running back, or do you want essentially a co-starter? And I've got names, and they're more, in my opinion, they're going to trade for Breece Hall, but in my opinion, they're more realistic than Breece Hall.
Okay. I do want to know those names. I'm still very hesitant to say I'm in on a trade for an offensive player. Very hesitant to do so. One, you go trade for a running back. What kind of message are you sending to RJ Harvey? And maybe it's the message he needs. Or maybe he absolutely crumbles by going, oh, I'm not good enough. They drafted me in the second round. Now they're trading for someone to come and take my reps. What would that do for his mental space? And maybe if he's not it, he's not it. But then you just wasted a second-round draft pick, and my man Cecil Lammey will dig in his heels on that hill saying how important a second-round draft pick is. And I still do not trust Sean Payton. I don't know who can trust Sean Payton at this time outside of the guys that don't have a choice down there at Broncos Park powered by Common Spirit. Sean Payton, as I've been saying for 7 weeks now, can't handle the responsibility on his plate right now.
Right.
We're going to change that up. We're going to add another name to it. Now, I know in this case, that name would replace RJ Harvey, but I still think it's complicating things just for the sake of complicating things.
Yeah, and, well, that's kind of what you get with Sean Payton. So
yeah, you're right,
now we look to the names that you could go to, and I'm interested to one of these for Drew Spivak to respond because he's a Bears fan, because I'm going to suggest Roschon Johnson.
Okay.
As a player that DeAndre Swift is their lead back, Kyle Monangai, their rookie, is kind of an exciting rookie. There's a fantasy tip for you. Kyle Monangai should be a waiver wire pickup. Roschon Johnson could easily start in this league, and he's the third guy in Chicago. So he was a stud at Texas. You look at him as one of those guys that's just kind of waiting in the wings, and that's why I love these sort of conversations, because you go back to their college career and you're like, wait, that guy could play at Texas. At Texas. And by the way, you know who was there at Texas when he was there?
Who?
Bijan Robinson.
Oh, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's
Heard
pretty
of him.
good.
Yeah.
So, Roschon working there as a backup to Bijan. It reminded me of when Priest Holmes was our backup to Ricky Williams.
Okay.
And then Priest Holmes was undrafted. Obviously, Roschon was drafted, but still, you've got options there that aren't going to be the price tag of Breece Hall. Breece Hall is going to be a larger price tag. You can get Roschon Johnson probably for a fifth.
Wow.
So I ask you, Josh Dover, is a fifth rounder worth a deep postseason run? I cannot rely on J.K. Dobbins.
But you can't guarantee me a deep postseason run either.
Well, I can guarantee that is Roschon Johnson better than R.J. Harvey? Yes. The answer is just yes, it is. I'll answer it for everybody. It is. RJ's not doing it, and I'm not going to wait for him to do it, and I don't trust JK long term. Sorry, he's a great guy. He says Bo Nix is a special, and I appreciate that because it's cool.
You said it, so we have to do it.
Bo Nix is a special.
Well, guess what? J.K. Dobbins is injury prone, even though he denies that. And even though you've got King Dingaling and Bo Lowry there at Broncos Park powered by Common Spirit, you've got to make other plans in case, and you've got to have a guy that can handle a workload. And you look at Roschon Johnson being only 24 years old. I like that.
I like that a lot.
You look at him as being under contract through next year. He's still under contract through next year.
That's the thing with Breece Hall. He's not.
Yes.
So it's a rental and a payday if you want to keep him
And I've
around.
got another one that's a former 1,000-yard back.
Okay, that's
and
nice.
also going back to his college career, Tyler Algier.
Oh, I like that.
Tyler Algier, former 1,000-yard back now behind Bijan Robinson. This is the Bijan connection here. And Algier, a 1,000-yard rusher as a rookie, then essentially gets replaced by Bijan, which makes sense. Bijan's the new Christian McCaffrey, basically. Algier's just sitting there. Now, he is a free agent next year, but you have an option to get him on the cheap. Breece Hall carries a large name price tag. Tyler Algier, it's been 84 years. It's been 3 years since he had 1,000 yards.
Okay.
So,
that's a low price tag.
Exactly. It's a lower price tag with proven ability, and he's 225.
Mm-hmm.
You need someone that can handle the punishment, that when you get to postseason football, it's about running the ball down somebody's throat and playing great defense. Broncos can do one of those things.
So if this is the case, and 2 weeks from today, we see the Broncos at some point in that 2-week window trade for a running back. Now we have to talk about George Payton. And now we have to talk about Sean and George together and their big swing and misses on running backs. So you would tell me in 2 consecutive years they would have wasted a pick on a running back that doesn't fit what they're trying to do? That's a problem too.
Well, guess who gets most of the blame?
RJ?
Well, who gets most of the blame for RJ?
Sean?
That's Sean.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Sean pick.
Well,
That's
you
a
think
Sean
Sean's
pick.
going to take the blame? Or
No,
the
of course.
responsibility?
No, he's not going to take that.
He'll pass the buck like he does on everything.
Well, I don't know how you could pass it to George. I don't see anybody out there, buddy. Now it's media scouts, so whatever, Mike Evans. I don't see anyone in the media world that was as high on RJ Harvey as Sean Payton was.
You even said that multiple times.
So, Sean, it's your boo, it's your guy, it's past week 6. You don't wait 3 years for a running back. You wait about 6 weeks, and then he better be able to ball. RJ Harvey's not balling. In fact, his opportunities may go down based on what he did against the Giants.
Well, if it goes that way and you go 2 straight years with drafting Audric Estime and then RJ Harvey and it went south, then Sean Payton's privileges of drafting running backs have been taken from him. He shouldn't be allowed to do that anymore. You wasted 2 picks in 2 straight drafts? That's a big problem. Big problem for Sean. So we'll continue to have that conversation. You guys tell us, you in or are you out on a running back trade within the next 2 weeks? Tell us, 303-713-1043 on the RamosLaw.com text line. I'm out. Sean Payton can't handle it, so I don't want to give anything more to Sean for him to screw it up for us every single Sunday. Yesterday, we talked about a few things that Sean and the Broncos offense need to fix before the Cowboys come a-calling. So, Cease, our tribe members, if you could change just one thing about this offense, it's only one, but it would be a guaranteed change before the Cowboys game kicks off on Sunday, what would that be? Text us, tell us in the YouTube chat room. We'll catch up there and give our answers next.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 13 years of age and older that are residents of the state of Colorado. Unless otherwise specified, employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or an entity associated with the contest may not enter. Full general contest rules are available at DenverSports.com.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, Dr. Joseph Ramos is both a doctor and a lawyer, combining legal and medical expertise. He can help. Ramos Law, the official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. RamosLaw.com.
Snow is coming and Silterhar Motors is ready, stocked up on a boatload of Broncos sports built for adventure in rain, sleet, or snow. Only at Silterhar Motors, buy a 2025 Broncos Sport for only $25,999 or lease for only $299 per month. Silterhar has the top selection with over 1,000 new and used vehicles available to choose from 5 different brands, all at one location. See their complete inventory of new and used vehicles at sthmotors.com. Silterhar Motors. Get everything you want out of a dealership.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
Brandon Stokely here from my team, ROX, Rocks Heating and Air. Are you ready for winter? Worries you might need a new furnace? Don't know where to begin? Rocks Heating and Air makes it incredibly easy with their new, free, no obligation online heating and cooling quote. It takes less than 5 minutes and gives you options instantly. No calls, no waiting, and transparent pricing. Only at ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Marketing can feel overwhelming. Where to start? What works? What doesn't? That's where your marketing experts at Denver Sports come in. Audio, video, online marketing, and we know how to cut through the noise so your customers finally hear your story. You don't have to waste time guessing or spinning your wheels. We'll guide you with a proven plan that turns your marketing into growth. Let us handle the hard part. You do the easy part. Head over to DenverSports.com and click Advertise with us and start growing your business today.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Or are they promising you up to 10% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you have a plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Call Trajan today, 720-204-8100. That's 720-204-8100.
Annuities, not advisory products. DBA Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Number one claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kit 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
Introducing your new Dell PC with the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps you handle a lot, even when your holiday to-do list gets to be a lot. Like organizing your holiday shopping and searching for great holiday deals and customer questions and customers requesting custom things, plus planning the perfect holiday dinner for vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, and Uncle Mike's carnivore diet. Luckily, you can get a PC with all-day battery life to help you get it all done. That's the power of a Dell PC with Intel inside, backed by Dell's price match guarantee. Get yours today at Dell.com/deals. Terms and conditions apply. See Dell.com for details.
You're listening to Dover and Cecil on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Want to talk about the Broncos and one thing that needs to be fixed. One thing. And we're asking you guys how you feel about the running back trade idea. Cecil threw out a couple of names. How do you feel about those? Do you think a trade is necessary, or are you going to roll with the horses that the Broncos currently have on their roster? Tell us on the RamosLaw.com text line. We'll get caught up there. Same rules over on YouTube. Just search Denver Sports on YouTube. Click that Dover and Cecil stream, and then you are in. As simple as that. So, Cecil, we know that the things need to be fixed. It's something that Sean Payton talked about after the game. Like I said, everybody fired up about the fourth quarter comeback win, but how the heck did you put yourself in that position? Well, there are a few things that need to be cleaned up. Sean Payton talked about that after the win.
There's no redemption. It's just the next week, the next challenge. There's relief. But there's, as a coach, there's like, oftentimes when you lose, there are a ton of good things that took place that you can build on. And then it's not unusual when you win that there are a ton of things that need cleaned up. So we're going to enjoy today, but tomorrow is not going to be as pleasant. And it can't be, or we're just fooling ourselves.
And tomorrow was yesterday, as he's referring to. And yeah, I'm glad he said that, or we're just fooling ourselves. Again, are you a part of that equation, Sean, or is ourselves everyone but you?
Right.
And I think that's a very fair question after what we've seen the last couple of weeks. So with that comment in mind, what do we have faith in them fixing? Will they run the football more? Probably not. He's Sean Payton. Will they get Marvin Mims involved more? That one to me is an actual possibility because Sean looks at him as a little mini joker, an offensive weapon where you can do multiple things with. Less moving parts. Is that something? Probably not. Sean can't get over how smart he is and wants to show the world, well, I have all these pieces and look at how great I am at using all of these pieces. So those are a few of the things that I thought, all right, these need to change.
Right.
What do I have faith in? The only thing that I might be able to convince myself is that he'll give me and us, the royal we, more Marvin Mims.
So Mason and I yesterday on Orange and Blue Today, or might have been afterwards, talked about the base package you and I were talking about.
Okay.
Who's your core four?
I like that.
So I think Mims is part of the answer, and I would say probably because he's forced to, fewer packages, personnel groupings. Like, you can still mess around with the formation, but you need to have Pat Bryant on the field at all times because he's a great blocker.
So, like, hey, these are the guys I'm doing it with.
Yep, here's your formation. You got Marvin Mims out there as well. You've got J.K. Dobbins. You've got Cortland Sutton. And because you have Pat Bryant out there, and because you have Marvin Mims out there, Marvin Mims is not a Sean, like, prototypical big Marcus Colston, Michael Thomas. Fine. He's a playmaker. So wouldn't it make sense if you have Mims out there? Oh, you might be missing some of this blocker. You're not going to like this. But we have to have a talk about Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram just doesn't look the same. Kev was at the game. Like, when you see Evan Ingram play, this isn't young Evan Ingram. This isn't stretch the field Evan Ingram. This is catch and kind of fall down a little bit, maybe a little bit. He's not a threat. He's not a threat of what you needed him to be. You have buyer's remorse on probably now Dre Greenlaw. You have buyer's remorse on probably now Evan Ingram. Because Evan Ingram doesn't look like the Evan Ingram that we were promised. Joker, hey, this, that.
Yeah, but what happened we saw at training camp? Is it because he couldn't get
sun
tackled?
shines on a dog's ass every now and again. I mean, what's he done during the week, like during the game?
No, nothing.
Not as much as we had thought.
He had the moment a couple weeks ago with the touchdown in the second half.
You're going to totally hate this because the next part of your core package is Adam Troutman.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but if Evan Ingram's not getting it done, and
How
would you rather have?
How did he get to you?
Would you
How
rather
did Sean
have?
get to you?
Would you rather have Ingram out there and not Mims, or would you rather have Mims out there and Trout out there?
I'd rather have Mims and Trout.
Exactly.
If my option is Mims on the field, whatever happens after that, I want Mims on the field.
Okay, so tough choices, right?
Yeah.
Tough choices. Evan Ingram, and you're just going to have some egg on your face. I'm about winning. I'm about this team winning in a way that they can. They're playing poor football for most of the quarters, and they're 5-2.
Yeah.
What if they put it together? How do they put it together? I think more Marvin Mims is the key, but to do that, you might have to placate Sean a little bit and be like, oh, I know he's not a blocker, but here's Adam Troutman to be your blocker.
That way you can still do the things you think you want to do, but give Bo a legitimate
and
option.
your three guys are JK, Court, and Mims.
So we just take one off. It's a terrific trio instead of the Fantastic Four.
Exactly. So I think we have to make some sort of concession
Look,
if we have a real conversation about Ingram.
If that's my option, then I'll roll with you on that.
Okay.
But I do feel like Sean Payton has got to you somehow, and I got to figure out how.
Well, I'm not wearing new Jordans. That's not how.
Oh, that's not the way.
Yeah, I just, if we have to take in Sean's ego in every sort of calculation we do.
You do, yeah.
He wants a big-bodied receiver. Okay, Pat Bryant. Pat Bryant's been doing a good job as a blocker. He, not as a receiver yet. I think it's there in the future. Give him 3 years. But Marvin's in year 3. Marvin's taking that step. Marvin's ready to do more, and he brings the fire to the field. All these guys are fiery. It's like Marvin Mims is like extra fiery.
Yeah.
What's the Taco Bell hot sauce? Like the
Diablo?
The Diablo? It's in a black pouch, right?
Yeah.
So when you run across one of those and you don't realize it, then all of a sudden you got the Diablo, you're like, oh, this is hot. I think that's what Marvin Mims can bring to the field.
I do too. That's why I want more of them. That's why I will ride with you on
more
that.
Mims means Trout's got to be out
But
there.
I don't
though.
like it. I don't like it at all.
Do you see something different from Evan Ingram then?
No. I will say over the last, I'm giving him credit for the one touchdown against the Jets. But over the last couple of weeks, he's been more involved. But when you said it, there was just like this light bulb that clicked of like, what has he done after the catch? The answer is absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
His biggest moment after the catch was the preseason game where Stiddy threw the ball, and Stiddy's not even a real person.
Right. And who was playing in that preseason game?
A bunch of bums.
Insurance agents. Insurance agents aren't bums. They just can't play football.
They're just not footballs. Yeah. I don't know. The people I buy flood insurance from, I'm going to call them bums.
Okay. All right.
I have to have flood insurance on a townhome in an area that hasn't had a flood in 102 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Well, you've got some if you need it.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do the Broncos have?
Scenario.
So reduce the number of personnel groupings and go with your core 4 or 3 or whatever. Just go with what works. I know Court can make plays. I know JK can make plays. I know Marvin can make plays. And that's about it. So have Pat Bryant out there to block, have Adam Troutman out there to block, and go make some plays.
Yeah.
Bo can do this. So I think there needs to be a give and take. Bo needs to be better. We're never going to let Bo off the hook. But like Sean, stop getting in your own way with all of these personnel packages. When Kev said that yesterday about Marvin Mims having to run across the field to get on the other side of the formation, like, what are we doing? You're taking a speed guy and you're making him run all the way across the field and then run a route that's probably a deep route? It's just, it's nonsensical. You can't run tempo, and I know Sean doesn't want to talk about that, but you have to do what works. You haven't been playing good football. You're 5-2. Start playing good football, and then let's see what you can do.
Sean Payton is the biggest problem for the Denver Broncos. It's like, what are we doing right now? I mentioned I want to read this text. One of our listeners sent in the chain that Kevin was rocking yesterday. That's tribe roll call from Julius. In Denver, he actually wants to shout out his son Jackson. Son Jackson took him to the Broncos game on Sunday. Got to see the fourth quarter comeback. He's listening to the fan, as we both do every day, while he's hooking up some AV for some great people in the 5280. Jax hooked me up with the Super Bowl 50 chain. So pretty sweet stuff. He's listening, and Dad wanted to give you a shout out right there.
Nice.
That's pretty damn cool.
That is awesome. And those chains are expensive.
Dude, I couldn't believe what we found on, was it eBay?
On eBay, yeah.
Kevin, do you still own yours, or is it listed on eBay officially today?
No, I still own mine.
Okay.
Yep, not giving it up.
For now.
Probably
we don't need to know about your life. Kev. That's too personal. He's not giving it up. Kev's on
Yeah.
It's
Not
a little
giving up my
sabbatical.
chain.
Your chain.
The chain.
Yes, please finish that sentence.
The chain will remain on Kevin Kistner's neck. Kevin Kistner's
But his
neck.
chastity belt gone.
Gone. Oh, well, we have something to talk about next segment. Let's go inside the internet. So you just want to figure out what's happening. Scott Wedgwood getting a little love. We'll pay some respects to Wedgie. And then an interesting story that came out over the weekend on, who had this? ESPN. About the homecoming that was the big Super Bowl 50 reunion party. Well, certain folks didn't get their invite. We'll talk about whether or not that matters coming up next.
What a roller coaster. After trailing for nearly the entire game, the Broncos offense erupted with a 33-point fourth quarter and sent the Giants back to the Big Apple with a loss. What can Sean Payton do to get his offense going before the final frame? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer said. I never could have sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whether you're into local craft brews, adventurous cocktails, or ice-cold 29-degree drafts, they've got your drink. Pair it with scratch-made favorites from their special menu. And you've got the perfect way to wind down or turn up. Whatever your vibe, Twin Peaks is your go-to for the best happy hour in the league. See you tonight at Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Colorado, it's game time at Groove Toyota. Right now, drive the 2025 Toyota Tacoma with 1.75 APR financing for up to 48 months. Tacoma is built for every play this season. Groove Toyota is all in on Colorado, all in on game day, and all in on getting you behind the wheel. Don't wait. Find your Tacoma today at Groove Toyota on Broadway in Inglewood or shop GrooveToyota.com. Groove Toyota, all in on Colorado all season long. Offer expires 11/03. Not all will qualify. Restrictions apply. With approved credit, call 720-961-4465 for complete details.
Peyton Manning here. Throughout my football career, staying healthy was a big priority, but bumps, bruises, and injuries were part of the game. And for me, it's not just the clinical excellence and expertise that sets a medical team apart. It's also the compassion, kindness, and empathy they show. At Common Spirit Health, healing is quality care and human kindness. And my friends at Common Spirit are teaming up with their partners to spread human kindness and create healthy communities. Common Spirit Health. Hello, human kindness.
The Wilhite Law Firm handles accident cases differently. If you're injured, we'll drive to your home, return every call, and keep you updated. After an accident, you want Wilhite. Get your free case review right now. Just call 303-GOOD-LAW today or visit WilhiteWins.com and win big with Wilhite.
Your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here. Fall has arrived, which makes now the perfect time to call your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks, at 303-425-0985. Ductworks complete ventilation cleaning packages, scrapes and vacuums every inch of your system, removing dirt, dust, and debris other companies leave behind. Here's why that matters. Your heating system kicks on in the fall. Dirty ducts can reduce efficiency, raise your energy bills, push dust into your home's air. A professional cleaning now helps your furnace run better, last longer, and keep your family breathing cleaner air. Don't wait until the first cold snap when everyone else is scrambling. Get ahead of the rush. Call Ductworks today at 303-425-0985 or visit ductworks.com for your free residential and commercial estimate. Your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks.
303-425-0985.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Is water damaging your home? Contact Groundworks, the basement concrete foundation experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at groundworks.com. Licensed in all states where work is performed.
Get ready for every Broncos game with Super Bowl 50 champion Brandon Marshall as he joins the drive every Friday afternoon at 4:45 exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Thanks to Corwin Toyota Boulder. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. DenverSports.com and the Denver Sports app. From conspiracy theories to cat videos, the World Wide Web can be a terrifying and beautiful place. So strap in and follow Dover and Cecil down the wormhole as they take you inside the Internet.
This, Jen, is the Internet.
What is happening inside the Internet that we need to talk about? Well, let's touch on it. I got a couple stories, Cease, to share with you. First up, at DenverSports.com.
That's where we start.
Encourage everyone to start their day. Who wrote this? Will Peterson is all over this one.
What up, Will?
And honoring Scott Wedgwood. He's earned an honor for his stellar week. He's actually been stellar going back to last season for his spot between the pipes. Wedgwood was named the NHL's third star of the week on Monday. He went 3-0-0 in that 7-day period, allowed just 1 goal per game, and posted, as Will writes, a ridiculously good .954 save percentage. It's Dylan Larkin, it's Jack Eichel. You might have heard of those guys. And then Scott Wedgwood are the 3 stars for the week that ended in October 19th. So Wedgie's been outstanding, and he's getting a little love from the league for it.
Yeah, a little love. I sent you guys in the text chain last night. Most games allowing 1 goal or fewer in the NHL this season. 5. Scott Wedgwood.
Yeah.
Number 1 in the NHL. And what a benefit, man. The way, I'll blame myself. The way we lied to ourselves about Justus Onanen, right?
Yeah.
Where's Alexander Georgiev? We're telling a bunch of lies. Like, it's okay. You just score 6 every night. You'll be good. You're fine. And then now to have the lumberyard to be able to lean on Wedgie like that, I mean, it's amazing. It's a godsend. And, yes, it's a blessing. So we're never going to take that for granted based on what we've had to deal with and the excuses that we've had to make along the way.
You want to talk about making excuses. Did you know that they've only given up 9 goals so far throughout this season? I know it's only been a handful of games, but 9 goals. They gave up 8 in the season opener a year ago. 8 in the season opener.
Wow.
They've given up 9 so far. So they've been outstanding, and it's been led by Mr. Wedgwood, who gets the honor. So congratulations to him. It is well deserved.
The Internet is a breeding ground for freaks.
All right, I mentioned this one, and I saw it over the weekend. I just didn't want to bring it to yesterday's show as we were obviously in reaction mode on a Victory Monday.
Sure.
But an article at ESPN says Bolin family says they were excluded from the Broncos celebrations. Members of the former Denver Broncos ownership group with Pat Bolin and his kids said they were not invited to the 10th anniversary of Super Bowl 50, as well as the induction of Demaryius Thomas into the team's Ring of Fame. So my question is, hey, is this a big deal? Is this not a big deal? I still feel like there's kind of that awkward moment of like, do we invite the people we bought the team from? Are they still a part of this? And then I'll just address the elephant in the room. Johnny Bolin's a wild card. Do you want him there in that situation?
Oh, God,
and
no.
in that setting?
No.
Yeah, the answer is no to that.
Yeah.
If you are you going to invite 2 of them but not Johnny? Are you going to invite all of them but not Johnny?
Right.
Like, what's that look like then at that point?
Well, I've got some harsh truths to speak about that because if my memory is correct, no Bolin family member worked for the Broncos at the time of Super Bowl 50. And I believe I'm correct.
I don't know off the top of my head.
No
I'll roll
Bolin
with you
family
on that.
member worked for the Broncos at the time of Super Bowl 50. So, like, and listen, the way the trust kind of
if they invited
screwed
Joe
everything
Ellis,
up.
I'm more mad about that if Joe Ellis was there.
And that just screwed everything up. Like, I'm sorry they weren't invited, but at the same time, if you weren't part of the Super Bowl 50 team and the trust was in place, again, there's just kind of this weird gray area. And would you do that? You're obviously never inviting Johnny Bolin to anything.
No, you can't.
And
You can't be
Bolin
out in
family,
public.
you know what? You upset about not getting invited? I'm upset about your family not figuring this thing out.
Great point, man.
So that Mr. Bolin's legacy could continue on in your name.
Great freaking
So your
point.
family and your kids, and yes, Annabelle, with the division between the first marriage and the second marriage and the kids and where's Beth at and all that, like all that Game of Thrones nonsense that we had to deal with, and the trust.
Yeah.
The trust was terrible. So
The trust was a scam.
you can be mad about not being invited. I'm mad about 10 years of not soiling the legacy of Mr. Bolin. I don't think you could do that just based on what he was when he was the man in charge. But you all dropped the ball. So I'm not going to cry a tear for you. You got your millions. You got your hundreds of millions. Now go.
Yeah. Yeah, you're laughing all the way to the bank, and you didn't get invited to the reunion party, and you're upset about that?
When none of your family worked for the team for Super Bowl 50?
Yeah, I didn't realize that. That makes it even more ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm 100%. Like that no Bolin family member worked for the team. And again, the trust was in place, and the trust sucked.
The trust was terrible.
Trust was awful.
The trust, they were highway robbers. That's what they were. They were robbers. They were
The trust
criminals.
was in place to make sure the trust was in place.
And that Joe and his two friends, because that's what it was,
and
got paid.
Who led the charge? It's the Bolin family that couldn't figure it out. You have an NFL franchise that is worth billions, and you have that sort of me and my sisters, we're all dysfunctional. Me and Carrie like each other, but we could figure something out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't figure it out? Well, sorry.
We actually kind of have a Johnny Bolin in ours, and she's nuts. I'll just be honest. So it would be kind of difficult with her around.
Okay. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. She's a wild card, and she's not in a good place. So I can understand how that would be difficult.
And I understand wild cards. I've always said this, like wild card when you're young. Yeah, we're all a little bit of wild card, but once you hit, I don't know, 40. And you're
40?
partying all the time.
Yeah, that's even a little much.
Yeah, it's like, come on. What are we doing?
If you're in your 30s and still going pretty hard, it's probably time for a hey, what am I doing kind of conversation.
Right. Yeah. So
pick other stuff to go hard at, like saving money and going on vacation. You know,
well, I
stuff
know
like that.
the reaction from fans. Like a lot of fans were like, "Oh, this is upsetting." That the all right. You can be upset, get as offended as you like, but they weren't there, and I'm not bothered by it.
If there were zero relationships between them and the team, then Jeff Legwald, who wrote this article, wasted everybody's time. Work on getting guys into the Hall of Fame, Jeff, instead of stuff like that, if that's the case.
And Mike Shanahan's a finalist again.
Yeah, are we going to keep?
What are we waiting for
every year?
What are we waiting for? Hall of Fame voters.
Mike Shanahan being a finalist,
but he might come back. He's not coming back. Okay, but he's coaching the 49ers too. Whatever.
They need new blood in the Hall of Fame voting room. They need to get rid of everybody and get new people in there immediately.
Where'd you hear that?
The internet.
And you believed it?
Yeah. They can't put anything on the internet that isn't true.
Now, I know Russell Westbrook isn't the most popular name in this town, and I can get that. But maybe we'll all like Russ a little bit better after some news that came out last night based on a book that's coming out today. There's a Lakers and a LeBron book that's coming out today because we need more information about LeBron James, right? And in this book, it's called A Hollywood Ending, the dreams and drama of the LeBron Lakers. Oh, God, I want to throw up. Russell Westbrook is quoted a couple of times in this.
Okay.
And is asked, hey, you came over in 2021. You're supposed to be this missing piece for the Lakers, and then it never really worked out. And Russell Westbrook says in multiple spots of this book, he couldn't get over how fake LeBron was. And he would say, like, hey, I just can't deal with that bleep. I can't deal with that dude's bleep. Over and over, saying how fake he is, how he would say something publicly, but then be completely different privately. And it went back to, like, the Russ being Russ. LeBron would always say that. And then Russ would be like, he doesn't even know what that means. He literally would say, LeBron doesn't even know what that means.
Right.
And not a lot of people would. But it's just interesting to me that I know Russell Westbrook is a different cat, but the fact that he saw through that nonsense and said, no, I don't mess with that dude because he's two different human beings. The person he wants y'all to believe he is, and then the person that he actually is.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't he doesn't care about the things that he says he cares about.
No.
And that's completely obvious. Completely obvious, right? In anything that LeBron says. Got allegedly ladies or whatever signing NDAs. Like, yeah, LeBron is about as fake as you can get. So I'm glad Russ could see through that because, well, I suppose a lot of people can.
Yeah.
It's just LeBron can't, and the people that hang on and blow bubbles at him can't either.
Yep. So kudos to Russell Westbrook for saying it out loud as that book is going to come out today. Can't wait to hear how LeBron backpedals from those comments.
Can't wait for him to slide in some DMs with NDAs again.
NDAs, yeah, that's right.
There you go.
He's pretty good at that, I've heard. All right, let's get into hour number 2. We like to call it quarter 2, going back to some things that Sean Payton said that may need to change from a personnel standpoint. This is from his conference call yesterday. He talked about guys possibly losing playing time. Who would those guys be? Let's have that conversation next.
Christian Brown is here to stay. The Nuggets locked down their rising star with a 5-year extension worth $125 million. With CB cemented into the starting lineup, is it officially championship or bust in Denver this season? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown." Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Snow is coming, and Silterhar Motors is ready, stocked up on a boatload of Broncos sports built for adventure in rain, sleet, or snow. Only at Silterhar Motors, buy a 2025 Broncos sport for only $25,999 or lease for only $299 per month. Silterhar has the top selection with over 1,000 new and used vehicles available to choose from 5 different brands, all at one location. See their complete inventory of new and used vehicles at sthmotors.com. Silterhar Motors. Get everything you want out of a dealership.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Most business owners and decision makers work hard but stay frustrated because customers simply don't know they exist. Marketing isn't about being flashy. It's about making sure people understand how you solve their problem. Audio, video, and online campaigns put your message where your customers are already paying attention. And your friends at Denver Sports, they specialize in connecting customers to businesses. The moment you get clear and show up consistently, growth follows. Don't stay the best kept secret in town. Visit DenverSports.com and click on the Advertise with Us button and start growing today.
Do you want the lowest rate for life? Get our 4.75 5-year fixed. APR is 5.89.
Did you say 4.75% fixed for 5 years?
Yes.
Yeah, I want that, but what if rates fall?
Our lowest rate for life program takes over. If rates fall even as little as 0.5%, we can redo your loan with no lender fees and no appraisal fee and no limits to the number of times used. Only at U.S. Mortgages. Call 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 392126.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Brandon Stokely here from my team, ROX, Rocks Heating and Air. Are you ready for winter? Worries you might need a new furnace? Don't know where to begin? Rocks Heating and Air makes it incredibly easy with their new, free, no obligation online heating and cooling quote. It takes less than 5 minutes and gives you options instantly. No calls, no waiting, and transparent pricing. Only at ROX, Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX, Rocks Heating and Air.
and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents
participate in the Nuggets media game. We'll talk about that a little later. Maybe we can set some tribe goals for things that I need to do to represent the tribe the right way. So
should we have Mile High moments?
Oh God,
triple double for Dover.
For like JJ Barea maybe and Jared Dudley. They're gonna mollywop us today. That's what's gonna happen. The Nuggets coaches are gonna beat our ass at basketball.
Right.
That's what's gonna go down.
But you're gonna have fun
as long as I don't embarrass myself, and some of the media folks I don't like do embarrass themselves. That's a win for me.
I think that's pretty much going to happen.
Yeah,
so,
it's definitely going to happen.
You're going to have a good afternoon.
Yeah, it's going to happen. And I'll report back tomorrow as to how it went down. But I want to hear from Sean Payton and a couple of things that Sean said yesterday in his conference call about changes. We called for a couple of changes, and Sean actually sees it that same way. So first up, Sean talked about how they plan on addressing the mistakes that were made in that game against the Giants.
I think you start with who. Who is it we're asking to do certain things from a personnel standpoint? There may be some guys playing time go up and some might begin to diminish, but you look closely at the personnel, then you look at the scheme, and does it fit us? There's a lot to that question, but it's a good question.
All right, good question. He liked that one, so kudos to the question asker. But he says it there. Some guys' playing time may go up, some guys may diminish. Let's make the list.
Okay.
Who's going up and who's going down?
Okay, going down is R.J. Harvey.
Okay.
I think we saw that in the game.
So that means Tyler Bidet is going up.
Yay. I mean, he's good and all purpose, but, and I know they can trust him. They can trust him in pass pro. All of that is worth something. But I look at that and I go, is he dynamic? Is he electric? Is he a threat? The way that R.J. Harvey is, but he's not getting it. And I know Sean Payton told me last week he is happy with him. I don't think that's the case.
Well, doesn't that tell you? So his words and actions are two completely different things.
Well, and notice in the game, he started to try to force him, and then RJ wasn't doing anything. But 4 carries, 0 yards.
Doesn't that tell you he's protecting the kid and he's worried about what the words would do to him?
Who was RJ's pick? Was it a George pick or a Sean pick? We know
it's a Sean pick.
It's a Sean pick. So Sean kind of CYA, but you need to win games. I don't care about CYA. I care about W's, and you get W's with ground game with 2. He likes to use 2. Using 3 isn't wise. And Tyler Bidet is not a good option as your number 2. J.K. Dobbins is a hell of an option as a number 1. You need someone to supplement and complement him as well to keep him fresh.
Well, and then even if it's that, as Sean doesn't trust Bidet as a runner, you're giving your hand up every time Tyler comes into the game.
It was like when Jaleel, as a rookie, was on the field 83% of the time he was getting the ball.
Exactly like that. So it would be a terrible tell. The other one is the names that we talked about yesterday. Alex Singleton, less playing time. Justin Stranad, more playing time. Now, with the suspension, and there'll be an appeal, but we'll see what happens with it, of Dre Greenlaw for 1 game, that's not going to happen this week, but that's what should happen. And I don't care if it's Stranad that gets the green dot. Is it Greenlaw that gets the green dot? Does Huff get the green dot? He's already got a C on his chest. I don't care who it is. VJ can figure that out. But Alex Singleton down, Justin Stranad up.
Okay, your mentions are going to be up then because everyone loves Alex Singleton.
Again, is he a great guy? Cool. That's not what I evaluate, and I never will. He can't cover running backs and tight ends. That's what I care about.
Well, and here's the problem. We go back. Yes, I'm going to be that guy. Aronde Gadsden, we talked about him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Said he was a freak. We're a fan of freaks on this show.
Yeah, we are.
He had 150 yards this last game. Like, only 4 times in NFL history has a rookie tight end done that. He's now getting comparisons from people in the league. He's like a young Travis Kelce with juice.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's now NFL people are saying that. And you had to take, Caleb Lohner?
Mm-hmm.
What? A guy that had 4 catches? So this entire draft, other than Jeremy Crawshaw, He's the one that's working out.
And you didn't even have to pick him in the 6th round.
You needed help. You needed 2 of these rookies to help out. And I'm giving Jahdae Barron 3 years, but you kind of could use him. RJ Harvey, you could kind of use him. Savion Jones, who I love, can't even get a jersey. You know, Q Robinson's fine, but he doesn't get the jersey unless there's an injury to Jonah Ellis.
I actually thought Q Robinson was pretty good against the Giants.
He was around the ball. You know, you like seeing that. So, yeah, a little bit there, but you've messed up too many times ignoring inside linebacker, and now you're paying for your sins. And guess what? Jake Ferguson's going to make you pay. Dalton Schultz is going to make you pay. 100-year-old Travis Kelce's going to make you pay. Like, if Brock Bowers is healthy, he's going to make you pay. You've got a lot of sins that you're going to be paying for because you've been ignored ILB this entire time.
I want to ask you, this just popped in my head when you brought up Barron again. Because you said yesterday he gets a 3-year window. Is that because he's a first-round pick or because of the position he plays?
Both.
Because the first rounder, it doesn't matter.
If it was a running back that was a first rounder, you better show up now.
If you're drafting a running back in the first round, he better be damn good.
Exactly. So that's why we hold that position to a different standard than other positions because it's the easiest one to translate. Defensive back takes some time, but it would be nice if you had some more help there on the back end.
We said it yesterday. Do not hold your breath. Nobody bank on Sean Payton giving up play calling duty, but somebody had the courage to ask Sean about that. Coach, would you ever consider giving up play calling?
No, I think we're comfortable as an offensive staff of how we're operating.
All right, so no, he wouldn't. He says, I like how we're operating. That's interesting to me. You like how you're operating there. We know what the answer was going to be, but the fact that he says we like how we're operating, everybody understands how we're operating,
right?
That to me is two different completely. Everybody understands means you're in charge and nobody questions authority.
Yeah, and you don't question that. Sean Payton obviously doesn't like the question. Could have been done differently and asked in a different way to get a better answer from Sean because clearly he was agitated, and we're not talking about it. He went Jordan Hudson on us. So you got to set him up. Maybe, butter him up a little bit in your question rather than just be blunt. Hey, you kind of suck. You going to change? No, Sean Payton's never going to answer that, and he's never going to do that. I think it's ridiculous and preposterous. It is a point of conversation. I mean, Ben DiNucci's tweeting about it, so, I think the question could have been formatted differently to get a better answer from Sean. You're still going to get the same answer, but that answer was pretty lame.
That's because he's offended by the question.
Yes.
Instead of open-minded considering the question.
Right.
He's like, oh, bleep that. You don't think I can do this? And then that's when you get angry, Sean.
Yeah, well, and that's
or
why
my grandma calls him Mr. Cranky Pants. That's what she calls him.
She calls him Mr. Cranky Pants?
Yeah.
And then she says, I need a drink.
That's right. Grandma V crushing it out there. All right, so no, he's not going to give up play calling duties. And some guys, we highlighted running backs and inside linebackers, are going to lose some time. RJ Harvey down in playing time, Tyler Bidet up. When Dre Greenlaw is available, Alex Singleton down, and Justin Strnad up as the guy paired there with Dre Greenlaw. All right, quick Broncos break. We do want to talk a little bit about the Nuggets. Their season is going to kick off in 2 days. They're going to play the Warriors. You can actually get a look at Golden State and see what they have left in the tank with the NBA season kicking off tonight. They're a part of the teams that are starting the party. So what should we expect from this new look Nuggets team? Who's this season's X factor? We're going to answer those questions next.
The Fan Flyaway is back, presented by 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. To kick off 2026, Denver Sports 1043 The Fan is sending you to Phoenix for the biggest party in golf. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money all included. Head to thefanflyaway.com to register. That's thefanflyaway.com. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
Announcing Williams Jewelers Annual Antique and Vintage Jewelry Trunk Show, October 23rd through 25th.
Come shop millions in estate, antique, pre-owned jewelry, and diamond rings that are precious, rare, and truly collectible.
Art Deco and Art Nouveau pieces, including signed Cartier, Van Cleef, Tiffany, David Webb, and many, many more.
If you're a jewelry collector, you don't want to miss it.
Many of these fine crafted treasures could not be duplicated today. Most are handcrafted and one of a kind.
Williams Jewelers Annual Antique and and Vintage Jewelry Trunk Show. 3 big days only, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, October 23rd, 24th, and 25th.
You can't miss us. We're on the corner of Bellevue and Broadway in beautiful Inglewood.
Williams Jewelers, Antique and Vintage Jewelry Trunk Show.
It's Denver's estate jewelry event of the year.
Don't miss it.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
Williams Jewelers of Inglewood, on the corner of Bellevue and Broadway, where Colorado shines.
Catch Telestrator Tuesday weekly on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, where Stink or Stoke dive into the past weekend's games with a coach's eye, using insights into what went right and wrong on critical plays. Telestrator Tuesdays, powered by Colorado Credit Union. Love where you live, love where you bank.
I just saw 2 houses for sale. Same neighborhood, almost identical, but one had an Orchard sign and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends at Orchard, why? The first house used a traditional agent. After weeks of price drops and frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard and got more. Their local Orchard agent didn't just list a home, they marketed it. They knew exactly which upgrades would attract serious buyers and brought in a pro to handle everything. And even more, with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, the homeowner moved into their new home before their old one even hit the market. They skipped all the hassles and showings. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard, the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to buy your new home, even before your old home sells. Start with Orchard's free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Let's talk about your hair. If you're losing it and desire it back, then do what I did and go see Dr. Tanya Pauls at Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can personally attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but close to it. They put hair where you need it the most, and bam, it grows. It's actually science. Advanced Hair has it all. Top-rated Dr. Tanya Pauls, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day. Advanced Hair even guarantees it to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation today. Call 720-459-HAIR and you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. That's 720-459-HAIR. Advanced Hair is the winner of Westward's Best of Denver, and they've changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. Become inspired with the before and afters at advancedhair.com. That's advancedhair.com.
Are joint pain or injuries keeping you from living your best life? I'm Dr. Joel Chernak with Denver Regenerative Medicine. We don't believe in one size fits all. Instead, we create personalized stem cell treatment plans using your own stem cells or donor cells to help regenerate joints, repair torn muscles and ligaments, and restore mobility. For a limited time, get 10% off through October. Don't wait. Book your free consultation now at denverregen.com. That's denverregen.com.
Samantha Flanagan here for Flanagan Law. Navigating personal injury claims on your own can feel like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. Don't let things fall apart. Protect your rights. Look for the Shamrock. Go with Flanagan Law. Online at flanagan.law.
Stay up to date on the Broncos with our 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss. Presented by Fitness Gallery. Hear the latest from every practice and every game every single week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. It's Dover and Cecil on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, let's talk a little Nuggets as the NBA season will start tonight. NBC, little round ball rock coming back. And by the way, Cease, NBC's getting back into the basketball game for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
And they've got themselves a big dog. Michael Jordan is going to be a part of NBC's coverage. And in fact, you're going to see a little MJ tonight.
Yeah.
But it's different. It's not like MJ's going to be breaking down the games and going, man, I should have curled off this screen, should have went under this screen. Like, that's not going to happen.
Oh, he'd have some interesting things to say if that was the case.
And the role for Michael, apparently there's another layer to this, but we didn't learn about the second layer. We've only learned about this one. But as we will see tonight on NBC, Michael is going to be a part of this, but it's like a sit-down, I think, Monday Night Football do this? I know on the radio side they do it. They would used to interview Tom Brady at
Oh,
halftime.
yeah. What's his name does the Tom Brady thing all the time.
Gray or whatever?
Yeah.
Jim Gray.
Jim Gray, yes.
That's what this is. This is that, but in basketball.
Okay.
He's noted as a special contributor for the NBA on NBC. It's going to feature a segment titled MJ, Insights to Excellence. It's an interview segment between Mike Tirico and Michael Jordan. So it's going to kind of air at halftime, I would assume, or pre or post. And then the analysts will actually be breaking down the game. But, dude, Michael Jordan, a part of a broadcast, you're going to get some freaking eyeballs.
Oh, yeah. You're going to get a lot of attention. You're going to get clippable moments. You're going to stuff for social. Listen, it's TV, right? TV broadcast. We live in a cell phone, smartphone age.
Yep.
You've got to live on your phone. You know what I'm going to see on Twitter tonight? I'm going to see Michael Jordan clips.
Yeah.
I'm going to see Michael Jordan's opinion, and that's going to go viral because everyone wants to know what's Michael Jordan think of whatever's going on. And Tirico's top dollar.
Tirico's great.
He's number one. So it makes sense to have him. If MJ can do this, kind of like the Jim Gray, Tom Brady thing, it's definitely going to get a lot of eyeballs on it. Probably not TV, though. It's a social networking word. And it's not even social networking anymore. It's interest. Social networking is just interest networking. Everyone's interested in what Michael Jordan has to say.
Yep. Will he be smoking a cigar? Will he be drinking a drink? You know what I mean? Like those. What's the
I hope he does both.
Because he's chilling at his house.
Yeah.
Or in a studio. I can't wait to see it.
I hope he gets a laugh at a laptop.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just think of the Michael Jordan memes that we have. And then I think of the poor kids that only know Crying Jordan meme.
Oh, that's right.
There's kids out there that I know Michael Jordan, the Crying Jordan.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hate you.
Why was he crying?
Hall of Fame, right?
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
And they made fun of his high school coach and then Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Could you imagine that's your reference to Jordan? Is he cried and you saw it on the internet?
Yeah, well, can you imagine there's people out there that think LeBron is the greatest of all time? And
oh, God.
Yeah.
I legit feel sorry for those folks.
Right.
Legitimately
right.
feel sorry. All right, so NBA on NBC tonight, and Michael Jordan will be a part of the process. That is pretty damn cool. At DenverSports.com, Cecil, I was a part of me, Zach, Marilat, Anilo, and, of course, Jake Shapiro all took part in kind of just a prediction article about the Denver Nuggets. And we all have our records, we have our X factors, all that stuff. I'll tell you what I did, and then I want to know, Cecil, where you would land with this stuff.
Okay.
For the Nuggets record, I'm looking at it. I actually have them with the most wins. I have them setting a franchise record at 58-24. 57 was the previous record.
And you were the number one?
Yeah, they've done that twice. Zach Bai and James Marilat both have them at 55. Anilo has them at 52, and Jake has them going 54-28. I don't even think this is like, oh, you're going to work the starters to death. Like, I think this is, they're so deep, they're so good. You and I have already talked about staggered units being damn good.
They're going to be awesome.
I just think they're solid 1 through 9, and, that back 9 is good enough to beat a lot of top 5 teams in the NBA, certainly across the Eastern Conference. So, yeah, they take a tiny drop when the starters aren't on the court, but it's going to be nothing like it was last year.
They dropped off a cliff.
Yeah, you couldn't set Nikola down for more than 7-8 minutes, or else you were down double digits.
Now, are you ready for Nikola's numbers to be down because he won't have to do as much?
100%.
Yeah.
That's why he's not going to win MVP.
Yes,
but
yes.
that's okay.
Well, last year he had the best stats of all time, and he didn't win MVP.
100%.
And he's certainly not going to do it this year because his numbers are going to decline because he doesn't have to do everything. No one said 60. You didn't even say 60.
I didn't get to 60. Dude, it's really hard to win 60 games in the NBA.
I got him at 60.
60 games in the NBA is like equal to 15 in the NFL.
Yeah, I got him at 60. That's the type of team that these guys are setting up to be, provided that everyone stays healthy. And it really is that bench depth, and it's Christian Brown taking that next step.
Yep.
He is the X factor. Now well paid. You locked him up. Nugs for life, whatever you want to say, but Christian is that X factor, becoming more involved offensively while improving defensively as well. Not just hustle, heart, and energy that we've always loved CB for, but it's, getting the pill off the dribble, taking it to the rack, shooting threes better at a better clip. That's what we're looking forward to this season. With Christian doing that, with Jamal being serious about basketball, you could say this team last year was unserious about basketball. Nikola and then pretty much everyone else, unserious.
Nicola's always serious. Aaron is always serious.
Aaron's always serious. Christian, okay, so there's some exceptions. But this year, it seems like everyone got the memo, starting with Jamal Murray, and that's going to get him to 60 wins.
Would Christian be your X factor? Is that your X factor? What Christian does this year determines how far the Nuggets can go.
Right. Now, I always ask the question, have we seen the best of blank? Have we seen the best of Christian? No.
No, I agree.
That's coming this year.
So his shooting gets better. Well, I told you, watching a little bit of the preseason game, he is, hey, how do you eat? I pick up scraps from the rest of the guys. Not anymore. Now, he'll still do that because it's a part of his game. You're going to see guys come and set off-ball screens for Christian. Let him cut to the middle. Show Joker, or let Joker give him a no-look dish because he's cutting to the middle with no one.
Right.
Run that baseline if teams try to show a soft zone with some good shooting by the Denver Nuggets because Jamal's hitting and Cam's hitting. He can run that baseline and just be a guy that finds the soft spot, dunks, or has a little floater outside of the paint. Christian could be a real problem this year.
Well, and I wanted my X factor to be Julian Strawther because that's my dude, right? And what kind of steps can he continue to take? The scoring is there, but imagine now the scraps conversation, that's for Julian.
100%.
That's for Strawther.
You're exactly
so
right.
Where's that hunger at? I hope they don't want to rely on Payton Watson as a scorer. He needs to be out there rebounding and blocking shots. That's the best part of his game in what is likely his final year with the Denver Nuggets. But Julian Strawther kind of bench X. Can we do that? Like X factor for the season is Christian Brown, and bench X is Julian Strawther. Like what kind of step does he take offensively to gain more confidence in what he does? Because he was hot at times.
Yeah, he was.
But too streaky. Young player, excitable player, and now we'll see with less opportunities because the bench is better and the staggered rotation is going to be awesome. Is Julian going to press? That's what I'm watching for.
Julian should become Tim Hardaway Jr.'s best friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's what should happen this year.
Yes.
Tim Hardaway Jr. should go, hey, I've been a role player my entire career. I could have been better in some of my stops as a role player. I wasn't for these reasons. Let me help you not make the same mistakes that I made.
Right, because you see that natural talent that's there with Strawther.
Yep.
He can put it in the bucket. So let him do that. Let him cook. But he himself don't get too excited as he did at times last year.
My X factor, and there's actually 3 of the 5 of us that wrote this.
Okay.
It's not going to surprise anybody. It's Jamal Murray. And I wrote that he is and always will be the X factor when it comes to the Denver Nuggets. When he's right, when he's in shape, when his mentals are right, and he cares about being a professional basketball player, I don't think there's a team on the planet that can beat the Nuggets in a 7-game series. The problem is he's not that more often than not. Now, what I've seen, what we've heard, some things that we've been told behind the scenes of how he spent his summer, it sounds like he's checking a lot of those boxes.
Yeah.
In shape, right mental space, cares about being a professional basketball, realizes that there's some real pressure on his shoulders to not let not just Nuggets Nation down, but the greatest basketball player that'll ever wear a shirt that says Denver, not let Nikola down. I think for the first time in Jamal's basketball life, he feels that sense of responsibility. Not only feels it, accepts the pressure that comes with it.
Well, and there's an X factor that we're leaving out.
Who?
Because I have some bold predictions for this Nuggets season. I'm fired up about what they can do. I'm fired up about them pushing for 60 wins. I did hear ZB. I'm surprised he picked him at 55. Because ZB, when I started talking about 60, he said, the range is 57 to 61. So what happened? Why did ZB lose a little faith? Because there's an X factor that nobody is talking about. Nobody's talking about. So we need to bring that one up.
What is that X factor, and how did I pick? How will Cecil pick this season ending? Will it be early? Will it be late in June? And what kind of hardware could Nuggets players be bringing home? We'll keep this conversation going next.
After a 2-5 start, Colorado State has fired head football coach Jay Norvell. Read the latest news and information on the changes in Fort Collins at DenverSports.com. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's up, fellas? Josh Drover here to talk to you about Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic and our energy through the day, throughout the work week. If you don't have any, or you get to the end of the week and you can't do anything with the lady, your significant other, or the kids, that's a problem. You need energy to be around the family. Low testosterone is probably what you're dealing with if you're in your mid-30s or in your early 40s like me. I know I felt it. Tired because I wasn't sleeping through the night, so if I'm tired, I'm not getting up to work out. I don't have any energy to do anything after work. Who wants to live like that? You don't want to spend all of your energy at work. Work stinks. You're supposed to spend all your energy outside of work. So what do? You start a conversation at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. You call the crew. Talk to them today at 720-440-7900. They have 5 locations to serve you. I promise, one's within 20 minutes of where your feet sit right now. Fort Collins, North Denver, Central Denver. Check out the New Look location in Castle Rock and down in Colorado Springs. They'll draw your blood, they'll tell you what your T and PSA levels are, and then give you an option to sign up for testosterone treatment right there on the spot. If you do it, your first appointment is free. Guys, you have nothing to lose, and you literally have your life to gain, to get back. And it all starts at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Heads up, pros. Now's your chance to unlock deeper savings. The Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred pricing can help you save thousands on the products your business uses the most. But the current benefit ends November 15th. Don't miss out. Registration for the new program is free and easy. Just bring your tax ID or business or contractor's license to the Pro Desk. Register now to lock in the best wholesale prices before it's too late.
Who wants the lowest rate for life?
I do.
I do. Everyone does, but it's only U.S. Mortgages. Lock in a low rate today, and if rates fall in the future, we will redo your loan and lower your rate without any lender fees, including the appraisal. There's no limit to the number of times you can do this. Always have the lowest rate for life. Get our 475 5-year fixed rate, 5.89 APR. Call 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 392126.
Today at Berg Simpson, we'll get a call from someone who needs our help. We'll learn about their loved one's injuries. We'll listen to their concerns, and we'll promise to fight for them. Then we'll use our resources and experience to deliver the best possible results we can for that client. So today, when that client calls Berg Simpson, we hope they feel they've done the best thing for their family.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Colorado can count on.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now, the company's changed. Or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So, what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan today, 720-204-8100. That's 720-204-8100.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. See website for details.
Your favorite song shouldn't have to wait for Wi-Fi. Switch to Straight Talk and get real unlimited data on Verizon's 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart.
This segment on The Fan is brought to you by Embers Golf, where your passion meets the green.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents Dover and Cecil.
Oh, this is awesome.
It's moving. It's moving.
If you don't get down, I'm going to do like, I'm Ricky Bobby. You don't chew Big Red? No. If you don't listen to Round Ball Rock, you know what the next line is. Dude, it's back. Cecil.
Round Ball Rock.
It's back.
Yes,
this
I love
jam will kick off the party tonight on NBC's coverage of the NBA.
Oh, my God.
Even if you're a hoops hater, how do you hate that?
I've missed it. I've missed it so much.
So good. How much money is John Tesh, right? How much money is that guy making off that song?
Yeah, exactly.
That song alone.
Just keep cranking it out. That song is awesome.
I'm fired up for hoops.
I'm fired up for an X Factor with the Denver Nuggets we have yet to talk about.
So, yeah, we both said X Factors. I said Jamal. You said Christian for his step that he's going to take.
We might both be wrong.
In the right direction. There might be another one. I believe you're going to agree with Jake Shapiro's X Factor, but
Okay.
Cecil, you tell me who we forgot.
Well, I'm merely going to ask the question to Nuggets Nation, to you out there, to members of the tribe, what's up YouTube, is I'm going to say, okay, if David Adelman gets this team into, let's take ZB's total, 55, let's take mine, 60. So they win 55 to 60 games. Is David Adelman not the X Factor, and is David Adelman a candidate for Coach of the Year in the NBA?
I hadn't even considered that. And if in between where they land, 58 was mine, which would be a new franchise record, how could you not?
Right.
Because you're going to be, well, let's see how serious the Thunder take the regular season. I kind of agree with what you said. They won't be as serious this year.
Is there the same hunger there in OKC as there clearly was last year?
And it's kind of, we know this with all sports, like you do lose a little bit off your fastball after you climb that mountaintop. So, man, if they get to, let's just call it anywhere between 55 and 60, it fits all three of our boxes there. Yeah, I think he is a candidate for Coach of the Year. And I would look at this as, that's what Shapiro wrote. Like, hey, are we going to learn in the first year that David Adelman's better, maybe not a better coach, but better for this group than what Michael Malone was at the back end of his career?
Right.
And I think the answer is already yes to
And
that.
is David Adelman the Steve Kerr to Mark Jackson? You know what I mean? I believe Coach Malone was better than Mark Jackson, but you definitely saw a difference when Steve Kerr took over with Golden State. Are you going to see that same difference with Adelman? I was incredibly wrong about this front office, right? And thinking, oh, what are they doing?
The new one?
Yeah, and now I appreciate John Wallace and all those relationships. I didn't think it would be this. I mean, they just overwhelmingly positive news coming from the Nuggets this offseason in trading away Michael Porter Jr. and setting this team up for a championship run because, yeah, they did read their press clippings. They got too fat. And now they're lean, they're mean, they're ready to make another run. It truly is championship or bust. And whereas I overlooked John Wallace, even though I appreciated his relationships, because you're coming from Calvin Booth, you're just like, hey, you know people.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty easy to get better than Calvin Booth.
Exactly. Well, should we say the same? Like, Michael Malone underachieved. He did. Guys all drunk up there at the parade talking about dynasty. What dynasty, dude? You got one.
I told you this before, and I still stand by this. Now, he proved me wrong, but and that's more of who Nikola and Jamal were at the time.
Okay.
I always had a feeling, and I couldn't say it because I worked at the place where you're not allowed to say what you actually think. I always had this feeling, and there's more than one guy over there that thought the same thing. But again, we were told we couldn't say it. That Malone was the guy that brought you to the certain point, but can never get you over the hump.
Right.
And maybe that's what we're seeing right here.
Yeah.
Now, David Adelman has that same. Is he the guy that Western Conference Final isn't good enough, DA?
Right.
An NBA Finals isn't good enough, DA. This is about winning NBA championships. Anything short of that is a failure.
Well, and imagine the perspective, by the way, and I feel so bad for you when you worked there because you couldn't say anything and you didn't get paid.
Yeah.
But, like, I look at it with DA and I go, think of his perception and his observations and watching Michael Malone mess this thing up. There's no doubt about it. Michael Malone.
Like, what are you doing?
Exactly, but can't say anything because he's the assistant.
Yep.
Now you get to run the show. Now you have a front office with relationships that can get you the things that you need, that have gotten you everything. It's like a dream offseason for the Denver Nuggets. How do you turn that dream into even better? Well, you go win it all. And they're set up to do that. David Adelman could be in Coach of the Year conversations.
You're right.
And if they're winning 55 to 60 games, he could be the coach at the All-Star break if they still do it the same way, like best record at the All-Star break. Your whole staff gets to go coach. Like, we could be looking at a Nuggets freight train that we've never even really considered. And we're talking about them as, one of the top one, top two, whatever you think of OKC this year in the entire NBA. But they could be better than that.
Yep. That's a great point. And if they get to that range that we're talking about, they're a top 2 seed in the West, and I think Adelman would be Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. With Coach of the Year, they don't want to go back-to-back. The league doesn't want to give the award to the same guy.
Right.
So
if you don't get MVP for Nikola, which is probably not going to happen.
It's not happening.
Okay, I think.
Well, he's going to win an MVP. It's not going to be the regular season.
Right. Go for Finals MVP. That's the thing. If you're looking for hardware, I give you hardware. I give you David Adelman as Coach of the Year. That's what we're talking about, and it can be better. Michael Malone, we could go through this year and see all the errors in the way that Michael Malone coached or didn't coach this team properly, didn't motivate this team properly, how many times are you going to call guys soft? You know what I mean? I want to see what kind of touch that David Adelman has with this team in terms of being able to motivate, understanding the strings that need to be pulled during a long regular season that you are taking seriously. Because if they got through to Jamal, for the love of God, they got through to Jamal.
We hope.
You're still doubting? You're still doubting.
I got to see it before I just blindly follow with that fella.
Doubt sees the obstacles and faith sees the way.
I'm being nicer than I've been in the past. I'm giving him the chance.
Okay.
I didn't give him the chance the last 2 years.
Right. Well, the last 2 years he's let you down. Now, if he doesn't let you down and DA is a part of that with his coaching style, hell yeah, we're talking about NBA Coach of the Year right here in the Mile High City.
Right. Our guy Big Perm, another
What up,
texter
Big Perm?
from the 929 also wrote it in. It's Cam Johnson as an X factor.
Okay.
I think that's a really solid name too. I've said it since the trade. You and I agreed on that. The only thing he's not better than at Michael Porter Jr. is shooting the 3-ball. And it's not that big of a drop off. Everything else, Cam Johnson is 10 times the basketball player that Michael Porter Jr.
And think
is.
of the efficiency that you're now bringing to the court with all of these changes that you can do with your staggered lineups. This team's going to be dangerous. They're going to be able to go fast. They're going to be able to play defense, and you're not going to be able to punish them at the rim as much. How many times last year we're sitting there at Nuggets games, and hands up. I'm always saying the same thing. Hey, put your hands up, and then watch the rim. Can someone please protect the rim? Now you've got that this year. So what are you going to do? How do you attack this Denver Nuggets team? And with DA running the show, how do the Nuggets attack you? Pretty much any way they want.
Any way they want. That's exactly right. Great Nuggets conversation. Again, go check out the piece that's up at DenverSports.com. Jake Shapiro gets the credit for writing everything, but a few of us had kind of weighed in on what we believe is going to happen, and we all feel pretty good about these Denver Nuggets.
And on YouTube, drop the win total in the live chat right now or leave a comment down below. We want to know, what's your win total? Is 60 too much? Beyond? Is it 55? Is it more than that? I think it's between 55 and 61, somewhere in there.
60 would be incredible. Incredible season. Real quick, I'm seeing this on Twitter right now. Trey Wingo had it, actually. He was the first one to report it, and then that Dove guy took it for his own. That's what he does. The Cowboys have reached out to the Raiders. So the Broncos play the Cowboys this week. They play the Raiders in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I would imagine the Raiders said no, but they're the Raiders, so anything is possible. The Cowboys reached out to see if Max Crosby would be available. You think the Raiders are interested in losing Mad Max? He's got the Raider logo tattooed on his body. He always talks about his love for Las Vegas, his love for the Raiders that gave him his first chance and then a second chance after he stumbled into a few problems. Would Max Crosby ever play for a team that's not the silver and black?
I will say this, and it could change. Anything can change at any time. But knowing the work that Max puts in, even here in Colorado training, knowing who he trains with, he never wants to leave the Vegas Raiders.
It's like his identity, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't mean something couldn't change and whatever. Here's a bunch of money. Here's a bunch of draft picks. But from what I know, and the people that work with Max, it's all just kind of the law. He's going to be a Raider for life.
And I mean, what are the Cowboys? Well, I guess
why do you trade Micah Parsons?
Right, that's what I was going to say. You get rid of a guy that's younger.
Yes.
That you still got to pay, but has a decade-long shelf life when Max Crosby has 4 years left, maybe 4 years?
It's Jerry Jones doing Jerry Jones stuff. So, I think that's more the fantasy football thing. Let's deal in the reality of the situation. And the reality is likely Max Crosby never leaves.
Perfect scenario, they trade him Monday. So that the Cowboys play him without Max, and then the Raiders get here without Max.
Speaking of without somebody, Sean Payton can't help himself. In the post-game presser, did you catch him taking a shot at Russell Wilson? So he was talking to John Mara, and he brought it up in his answer. He's like, I was talking to John Mara. They got something good with their quarterback. I was hoping we'd see him after, our game.
So he wanted that revenge factor too.
He just can't help himself. If he can say something bad about Russell Wilson, he will.
He did it yesterday, too, with New Orleans. He brought up his He's like, well, back in New Orleans. And I'm like, click, I'm done. You bring that up, I'm out. Stop listening at that point. All right, so good stuff there with the Nuggets in the NBA and an interesting trade scenario that's kind of peeking its head around the NFL corner right now. 2 weeks from today is the NFL trade deadline. Let's check our X. We need to tell you what's on our timeline that we want to share with you guys. A stat about Bo Nix. Good numbers, but how can they get this version of Bo to show up before it's too late? We'll explain that next.
After getting walked off twice in the first 3 games of the season, the Broncos walked off the Giants and claimed first place in the AFC West. Say it loud, Broncos country. Let's go Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap GoodRx, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Bonnie from O'Meara Ford has convinced me they really want to earn your business. So, talk to me, Bonnie.
Well, O'Meara has over 1,000 vehicles to choose from. Plus, we have the largest service center in the region with 84 service bays. And we've sold 1 million vehicles since 1913. Our friendly staff will treat you right. And when it comes to repairs, our knowledgeable technicians do it right the first time.
There it is. O'Meara saves you time and money, whether you buy new or used. O'MearaFord.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Marketing can feel overwhelming. Where to start? What works? What doesn't? That's where your marketing experts at DenverSports come in. Audio, video, online marketing, and we know how to cut through the noise so your customers finally hear your story. You don't have to waste time guessing or spinning your wheels. We'll guide you with a proven plan that turns your marketing into growth. Let us handle the hard part. You do the easy part. Head over to DenverSports.com and click Advertise with us and start growing your business today.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Cherdak from Denver Regenerative Medicine. When it comes to healing, there's no one-size-fits-all. Every patient receives a unique treatment plan designed just for them. We use either your own stem cells or carefully selected donor cells to treat degenerative joints, torn muscles and ligaments, and even back injuries. Our goal is lasting healing without unnecessary surgery. And right now, we're offering 10% off treatments through October. Schedule your free consultation today at DenverRegen.com. That's DenverRegen.com.
Dan Jacobs with Jacobs Law and 303 Law 4040. Did you know that I actually have some psychic abilities? Yep, had a new client come in the other day to get signed up, and she said, Dan, you know, they've already made me an offer. And I said, well, let me guess. It was $1,500. And her eyes got real big, and she said, Dan, how'd you know that? And I said, let me take another guess. When you said you weren't sure, they said, okay, we'll offer you the maximum amount allowed of like $3,500. The client couldn't believe what she was hearing. But let me let you know in a little secret. I'm not a psychic. I just know all of the insurance companies' dirty little tricks. They use these tricks to put pressure on you so they can get off the hook cheap. At 303 Law 4040, we're here to make sure that they play fair. We're going to make sure you get feeling better and the insurance companies pay what's right. Call us at any time. You can speak directly with me or my lovely wife, Kimberly. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303 Law 4040. That's 303 Law 4040.
This segment on 104 104.3 The Fan, powered by Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic.
Joel Klatt, the nation's leading voice in college football, joins Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth every Wednesday morning. Presented by Groove Toyota. Here we go. Tune in at 8:10 for exclusive insight, bold analysis, and maybe just a hint of shenanigans. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Don't at me, bro. It's time to check your ex.
Why are you stalking me?
No, not that ex. Twitter, unfollow. Here's Dover and Cecil to help you swipe, scroll, and screenshot your way through today's top headlines.
Power of social media. I'm on Team Gets It.
Let's check our X. What's on our timeline that you need to know about? We'd love for you guys to follow along on Twitter. I'm at Joshua Dover. He's at Cecil Lammy. And I saw a tweet from at PFF, a little Pro Football Focus, pumping up Bo a little bit. But it's a weird stat because it's his numbers when they're trailing this season. And the numbers are outstanding. But how do you get this version of Bo when it's not desperation time? He has a 76.3% completion percentage when he's trailing. He's thrown for 1,044 yards when he's trailing. He's tossed 11 touchdowns and 0 interceptions when the Broncos are trailing. And he's achieved a passer rating of 101.6. Now, those are outstanding numbers. I'm not saying Bo has to be perfect with an 11 touchdown to 0 interception ratio or complete balls at a 76% clip. But how come his numbers can look like that when they're down and his completion percentage is below 63% in other instances? His yardage is his yardage, but we know it's not great. And he's not tossing as many touchdowns. How do they get this oh bleep kind of moment from Bo Nix before it's an oh bleep kind of moment?
Yeah, Sean Payton listens better. Sean Payton lets him attack downfield. He's got 76.3% adjusted completion rate on downfield throws.
That's unbelievable.
What do we hear when the game is like close? Oh, it's Bo Nix throwing behind the line of scrimmage. It's Bo Nix with a bunch of screens. He's a check down merchant, whatever. Then they get behind. You start firing deep, and he's hitting deep. Those are low probability throws, but he's hitting on them at a 76% rate. It's just staring at you right in the face. If Sean Payton doesn't get it, I mean, what help can we do for him? He can't be blind to what exactly happens when Bo Nix gets to run what Bo Nix wants to run. So, Sean, you can have ideas. That's awesome. I like your ideas. Hey, that play you drew up on Saturday, that worked.
It did actually work.
In the moment to get you into the game-winning field goal. So keep doing your thing. But whatever you're doing Monday through Friday, your first 15 stink. Your first 2-3 quarters pretty much stink.
Yeah.
Like, work with Bo, man. Work better with Bo. You'll have better results.
Those numbers are awesome. We just need to see them a bit more regularly. All right, this thing's making its rounds. We actually just saw it here without audio on the TV in studio. So we know the Jets are terrible. The Jets are so bad that Woody Johnson's literally saying into a hot microphone, all they need to do is complete one pass to get some stuff going. So it looks like Justin Fields is on his way out, and Tyrod Taylor is on his way in. And sorry to be the bearer of bad news, Jets, Taylor also sucks at playing quarterback, so it's not going to get any better for you guys.
No, it's the Jets, so get them to trade Garrett Wilson, get them to trade Breece Hall. Like, let's move on. Next. Well, they're in line for whatever quarterback. It's not a great quarterback class, at least it doesn't seem to be setting up that way, but...
Oh, they'll pick one, though. They'll pick one.
Oh, yeah, and they'll pick the wrong one.
Yes, they will.
Because they're the Jets.
So after the Jets lost again, a reporter catches up with a fan, and this fan is a young man. He's walking out of the game with his family, and the reporter just happens to stop this young man and ask him about, hey, what's it like being a Jets fan?
Cinnamon, get your thoughts on the game.
I hate this team. I was born into this, and I'm not going to ever – I'm always a Jets fan, but, I hate this team.
Cinnamon, get your thoughts.
He hates this team. And by the way,
this team.
Is that Trent Finnegan? That's the same voice that Trent Finnegan presents to us.
Is that the
every
King?
Friday. That might have been the King right there. Yes.
Maybe that's what Trent says about CU. I hate this team.
I was born into this.
I went here. I paid a bunch of money to go here, but I hate this team.
It's because Trent's a real one with C.
I love sports,
just
man.
Goggle at the team like other reporters do. That's awesome. And if you've seen the video, the kid is just locked into the camera. He is as serious as a heart attack about his hate for the New York Jets. Bravo to that young man.
Yeah.
That's a true sports fan that goes, I'm riding or I'm dying with this football team, but it's in my DNA. I can't quit. That's what sports are about.
That's what it's all about. So authentic. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
That's pretty funny right there. I like that kid. I'm rooting for that kid. Not the Jets, but I'm rooting for that kid.
Oh, waka, 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 yeah.
All right, Cease, what's happening on the timeline?
You big Halloween decoration guy. You're a homeowner now. I think we've talked about this. You're going to put out some Christmas lights, but not necessarily Halloween.
Kelsey wants to do Halloween. I'm like, let's chill for a second. Let's start with Christmas and see where we are.
Okay,
I like our neighborhood. Our neighborhood rips with with Halloween stuff. It's just not in my yard.
This lot is a corner lot, so he has a street lamp on the corner. It's a pole.
Okay.
So this guy took a skeleton and he made it like a stripper pole, and then he put guys with skeletons sitting around. Then there's a string of money that goes up to the skeleton who's on the pole, and a couple of other skeletons are like sitting down, enjoying a beverage,
they got money,
and enjoying the dancing of the skeleton on the pole.
That's
in the neighborhood.
That's an A+ effort right there from the homeowner.
Yes, and that's one of those ones where everyone's gonna love it. They're gonna laugh and they're gonna look at it and go, that guy's the man. Because you got to change it up a little bit. And if you have a corner lot that happens to have a light pole on it, you could make it a fire pole, right?
Sure.
What are the North Pole, right? You could do a little Santa Claus skeleton,
like
whatever.
Cane it or whatever.
Exactly, right? Barbershop pole, like that. Okay, so there's certain things you could do. And this homeowner decided, well, I'm going to turn my corner into a skeleton strip club.
I'm a big fan of that guy. I would like to be his neighbor. I would imagine his barbecues are better than the other neighbors' barbecues.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would assume.
And at that spot, they show their femurs. So it's a juice bar.
Yeah, that's right. And by the way, save the parent text. Come up with it's a witch that's on the pole. That's what it is. If you're worried about how your kids view that.
Oh yeah.
Waka, 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 yeah.
Oh boy. I think your phone's always listening to you, right?
100%.
I mean, you can play my theme music, but I think we already know it's not.
I think everybody should buy
conspiracy.
That at this point. Yeah.
We already know. Okay, it's your phone's listening, right? Your phone's listening all the time.
Yeah.
So you talk about golf a lot.
I do. Sorry.
I enjoy golf. I'm not rich boy like you, so I can't afford golf all the time. I own a small business.
I'm just childless, so I have expendable money.
I talk about like, hey, certain CIA documents that have been released. There is now a channel that I came across.
Oh,
It came up on my timeline. She gives golf tips. It's a lady.
Really?
She gives golf tips while also talking about how the CIA has released documents that say consciousness is not local. Like your thoughts are not local. They're not in your brain. They're in the cloud, so to speak.
I have that same driver. Sick.
So you're not listening for they basically told us that reality is a hologram and they proved it through Project Stargate. You're not worried about that. You're looking at her swing.
Yeah. I'm like, how does she move her front foot on a drive or does she keep that thing planted?
So I was like, what a combination. Damn phone listening to me, but I kind of like this.
This is
golf tips and CIA stuff.
That woman is the female version of you and me combined together.
Whoa.
That's who that is.
And Kev knows her too.
She's playing golf in that video?
You notice other stuff, huh? Can you please send me that page? Because that's going to be my new favorite page.
Okay.
And I've been telling you, I start my mornings with a little yoga, kettlebell, and golf videos.
Yes.
Why not include her into my mix?
Why not include some of that? Reality's a hologram.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Dude, I am so into this lately.
That's more your favorite than Latina Baddies? I don't know if I say that
I
one.
like that too.
You like that one?
Send both. Send both. I can probably get both in. I actually got one more quick one.
Waka, 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 yeah.
All right, so we told you earlier that the Avs finally released the worst kept secret ever. They got the Nordiques jerseys out there, and they are sick. I will tell you that. But you know what my question is? The moment I saw this, and maybe this is my basketball brain working, and that's fine, but I thought, here's the Avalanche checking a box of what do our fans want, what do our fans want, what do our fans want. They want that look. They want Kale, Nate, Gabe, looking like Super Joe was back in the day. Cecil, they also own the Denver Nuggets, correct?
Yes.
What do the Denver Nuggets fans want when it comes to jerseys?
The true 90s rainbow jersey.
So why do they give it to the Avalanche fans that have wanted it and called for it for several years, but they continue to get further and further away from the real rainbow skyline jerseys? Why wouldn't they just check that box one time, and sell them all, and then sell them all again, and sell them all again as they sell out, restock, sell out, and restock? It's just strange to me that the same outlet can get it from one perspective, but not the other.
And I would do it.
And it's the same guy that's doing it all.
I would do it for all eras with just Nikola, right? Maybe Jamal too.
Okay.
But because I think of the
Just his
Dikembe.
jersey.
I call it the Crayola. I know it's rainbow skyline, but I call it the Crayola jerseys. And I personally believe I like the maroon ones too, like the Antonio McDyess jerseys.
yeah,
I know
I like
they
those
weren't
too.
successful, but like imagine Dikembe with the Crayola, but then you have a 15 instead of a 55,
That'd be
and it's
sick.
Nikola.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. But we don't get that. Why can't we have nice things?
I don't know. And like I said, it's the same outlet. You guys figured it out on the Av side and you crushed it. Do the same thing on the Nuggets side, and you'd get people lining up at the team store to buy some of those classic rainbow skyline. I'm not even jersey guy anymore, but you get a classic rainbow skyline Joker, I'm going to get a couple of those things. So yeah, do it, please. What the heck are you waiting on? All right, lunch hour. We're here already on a Tuesday. The Broncos got Dre Greenlaw back, but he might be gone just like that after the NFL suspended him for something he did post-game. Find out what it was he did and if his appeal actually has a chance. We'll do that coming up next.
The Fan Flyaway is back, presented by 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. To kick off 2026, DenverSports 1043 The Fan is sending you to Phoenix for the biggest party in golf. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money, all included. Head to thefanflyaway.com to register. That's thefanflyaway.com. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Zach By here for 5280 Exteriors. Right now, they've got a great deal on windows, so take advantage before the snow starts falling. Order your windows in October, finance your project with them, and you won't pay anything until November of 2027. Be warm during the holidays. Don't wait to upgrade your home. Order windows or siding from 5280 Exteriors before the cold weather arrives. Call 5280 Exteriors now and see how low your monthly payment can go. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Whatever you're looking for when you head out into the wild, keep an open mind. Sometimes the real treasure is the journey itself. Sure enough, there's treasure out there. Sometimes it's something you didn't expect to find. And more often than not, it's as simple as the memories you make. Make some memories of your own with a new vehicle from Corwin Toyota. Family driven for over 100 years.
This is Jeff for Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Greg.
Hi, my name is Greg. I've been a patient of Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic for over 10 years. I noticed that I was really tired. I was lethargic. I didn't sleep really well, and I was overweight. My waist was 4 inches over what it should have been. It was really difficult for me to lose the body shape I didn't like. And of course, my marriage, yes. No man in their 40s wants to have low libido in their marriage. I'm really thankful for this therapy because it just makes me feel the man I want to be, active, at home, everywhere. If you're feeling like I was, call the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic today and get checked. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Thanks, Greg. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th,
New Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto-pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by TradeGen Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
On a Tuesday. The Broncos are off. They're going to be back to work tomorrow. We're going to be back to work with the Broncos, getting you set for the Cowboys game, but still plenty to talk about with these Denver Broncos.
Oh, yeah.
Always want to remind people, hey, if you're joining the show at noon, perhaps you have busy mornings. We totally get that. We'll also totally call your boss and tell him to back off so you can listen to the show. But if you want to check in now for a little tribe roll call because you missed the 10 a.m. slot, hit us up, 303-713-1043, ramoslaw.com text line, or the YouTube chat. Search Denver Sports on YouTube, and then click the Dover and Cecil stream, and boom, you're in. Watching the show, hanging out with the crew right there in the chat room. Cease, we got bad news yesterday, a little after we got off the air, and it was a report. I saw it first from Parker Gabriel from the Denver Post, and then everybody kind of else followed along. The NFL announced that Broncos inside linebacker Drake Greenlaw has been suspended for 1 game for unsportsmanlike conduct on Sunday. At the conclusion of the Broncos-Giants game, Greenlaw chased after referee Brad Allen, apparently threatened him as he tried to leave the field, and there is some video out there of it. Again, Parker Gabriel has it on his Twitter. We'll give him the credit for doing the work there. And you saw it. Yeah, Drake Greenlaw had some words for Brad Allen. He went after him. He said a couple of things. You saw kind of Brad Allen made that face like, the game's over. You guys won. What are you doing right now? And then throws a flag.
Right.
Which I was like, oh, wow, I didn't even know that would be a thing. But that caught the attention of some folks. That then got back to the NFL, and the NFL decided, Drake Greenlaw, you will miss 1 game after playing in 27 snaps for the first time this season. He's out. He'll be appealing that suspension either today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
But, Cecil, I think you and I are in agreement here. That appeal's not going to do anything.
No.
They got you on tape, man.
Right.
They got you on tape stealing boxes. You got to pay the fine.
Right. They caught me stealing boxes. How do you get fired on your day off? How do you get suspended after a big win like that? Right. Well, that's the way you do it. So it tells me that Brad Allen not only is a bad official, but he's also super sensitive and a big baby. I wonder if he throws flags, like someone cuts him off in traffic and he's like, flag, throws a flag.
He's reaching for it.
He's playing Battlefield 6 and someone says something naughty to him and he's like, throws a flag. Like, okay, God, for the love of God, dude. Don't put your hands on Justin Sternad when you're leaving and trying to get out of the scrum, right?
So I didn't see that.
Sternad could have been John at him as well.
Tell me, like, I didn't see it in the video.
He's
like
leaving and he goes like that. And now Sternov's kind of like running at him, and maybe he does that, but you could like shield yourself and cushion the blow rather than actually push. He extended his arms and pushed. I feel like a NBA official with now earpieces in. So yes, I'm going to get my tinfoil hat. But like, seriously, come on. What are we doing? What are you doing, Dre Greenlaw? At the end of the day, am I mad that Brad Allen is a I can't use that word. Maybe a little soft, right?
Sure.
I can use that word,
Yeah, you
right?
can.
So am I upset that the official is a big baby? Okay, yeah. But I'm more upset that a veteran like Dre Greenlaw, who's just back for his first game in 21 snaps, getting those 6 tackles, being such a big part of what this Broncos defense can be. We just got him back out there. Now he's going to have to miss another game, and I don't think the appeal goes anywhere. So, yeah, you're going to have bad officials. You cannot respond this way. This team, which is very, very odd to think, lacks discipline. And that's a perfect example of it.
Well, and it's also weird that there's a lot of defensive penalties. So it's the defensive side that lacks discipline.
Right.
It's the side that we trust the most, but it is getting called for more penalties than the other side of the football.
Right.
The offense can't perform, but are disciplined. The defense can perform, but are not disciplined.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the offense is disciplined either.
I mean,
I think
they're
you
just
have
more than. You're right. I shouldn't say they're disciplined. They're a little bit more than the defense.
I think overall you have an undisciplined team that's not playing good football, and you're lucky you're 5-2. Yeah, I used the L word. You're lucky you're 5-2.
You're right.
You've got to start playing better football on both sides of the ball. And Dre Greenlaw, what are you doing, man? Seasoned veteran like that, as excited as he was to be back out there, as excited as I was to see him back out there.
Exactly.
This can be a huge piece, a key cog for this Broncos defense at the spot that they're weakest. The numbers on Riley Moss are actually really good. Really good. By the way, Surtain and Moss didn't allow a reception in the game against the Giants. So, yeah, Jackson Dart, he's cooking. He's cooking against Jaquan McMillan, all right? But Moss, PS2, locking it down. The numbers for Riley Moss are better than some would think.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I've said it, and, get as offended as you like. Riley Moss isn't having a bad year.
Not having a good year either, though.
Well, he's not having as bad as you think. And the advanced data backs it up. If he's going to get targeted the second most in the league, you got to break some eggs to make an omelet. Like, that's just going to happen. And we kind of have to, in a way, forgive it. He's not going to lock down everybody. He's not going to fake Jackson Dart every single week. And what was he on? Little Jordan Humphrey?
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, guys, you took care of business against Little Jordan Humphrey. Yeah, okay, he's going to do that. I look at it now. Where's your weakest spot on defense? Clearly, ILB. Greenlaw was going to fix that. And now you got to get by against the Cowboys and the best tight end in the league. You may not know it, but he's having a historic season, a historic start for Jake Ferguson. The only one in the NFL to do what he's doing after 7 games.
So what kind of bums me out about the Greenlaw thing is that you said everything there. Veteran, leader, a guy that's been
Supposed
there
to know
before.
better.
But why do you leave the celebration? So berating a referee is more important to you than celebrating with your teammates in an epic comeback win? You were in that moment. You saw the video. We all watched it. He's literally in the middle of a celebration.
Okay.
Sees Brad Allen.
Yeah.
Breaks away from the celebration.
Right.
To go chase down the
But what did he see
the
Brad
referee.
Allen do? Did he see Brad Allen make another bad call, or did he see Brad Allen extend his arms on his teammate? You and I have been in plenty of fights. You probably more than me, and
I'm not
more
sure.
recently than me.
Well, recently, yeah.
Because I'm old. But
I made a bad decision one day. I shouldn't have done that.
you know what? My guy don't win, I jump in. That's the law. That's the law.
Yeah.
It'll be like my guy CJ, who when he mouthed off to these guys at Fort Ram, and then we got like 15 guys that jump us, and he hides under his Suburban. Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
He did get his glasses broke, so I kind of felt good. We had to take him to the hospital. After we all got our ass kicked, he's the one that...
It should have been you that broke his glasses, punching him in the face.
Well, so Dre Greenlaw, why did he do that? Why did he break away from the celebration? Because my guy don't win, I jump in. Like, that's the law. So, he saw something. It's emotional. I mean, amazing emotions at the time.
See, that's where I can give it to you. Like, the emotion is an all-time high.
Right,
But
right.
It's not like Greenlaw's like, oh, crap, is Brad Allen about to whoop Justin Chernod's ass?
Sure,
I get
it.
what you're saying, and
Yeah.
the emotion is the real good point of
Yeah.
that because you're at an all-time adrenaline high in that moment.
And I'll say this, not for you specifically, maybe kind of you, but for people that are like all on their high horse of like, how could he possibly do this? I feel like that Mike Evans had that take, but like, come on, put yourself in that emotion, These guys are the ultimate alpha males. You know, you and I are a couple chuckleheads at Arvada Tavern getting in a fight at the pool hall, right? That's what we do. But imagine being on that field in that moment and seeing your teammate get treated that way by an official when you're not supposed to put your hands on them, but yet Brad Allen can put his hands on you and then, you know, throw a flag because he's a big baby. So I'm not forgiving him, but we all have to put ourselves there. And I know this, man. You would have done the same thing. If it was me and you and some zebra puts his hands on me, I know my guy Dover's going to get my back.
And you're right. You're right about that. And you're right about the emotion and the adrenaline in the moment. What's strange to me is the breakaway from the celebration. Why are you even looking anywhere else? The party's right here. You're celebrating Will Lutz. Like, dude, hang with your crew.
Okay.
I don't like that. Like, I made the joke earlier about the Tebow of like, remember when he ran away and had to do the Tebow pose of like, no, you're not an individual in that moment. You're a part of the group that is the Denver Broncos, and be a part of that group. That was kind of my thing. Like, don't break away from that moment. Your only moment on the field with this team, and it ends like that. It's just a boneheaded decision by Dre Greenlaw. He'll never make it again.
Right.
But man, do they need him this week in the biggest of ways. And now because of a decision he made, that he's not going to be available because he's not going to win this appeal.
No, he's not. And then you're going to get smoked by the Cowboys. And he could have helped you stop Jake Ferguson. I'm telling you, Jake Ferguson is a threat. And it's disappointing, but you know the silver lining? There's a silver lining for most everything, right?
What is it?
Did you see who pulled him away?
Was it Q Robinson?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Yep. When you have a rookie,
he was chasing him.
I know. So Q.
Like, heard
shout
what he
out
was
Q.
saying.
Shout out Q. Shout out the Rook, man. This is a young cat coming in, only played a couple of games, super excited about his opportunity because of Jonah Ellis injury, and he hears his guy. He understands the situation. I mean, they could have redone the kick. Brad Allen really wanted to put his foot down. He could have said, hey, penalty, unsportsmanlike, move him back 15.
Damn.
Okay, what was that Will Lutz at the end of the game? 30 yards or whatever it was?
I don't remember.
Now is he hitting a 45-yarder? We feel better about that?
I don't feel
you
better
want to
about it.
redo
He's
that?
got it in him, but I don't feel good
He's
about
got it in him, but in those type of situations, it's like icing the kicker, penalties on a kick. Look at what happened against the damn leverage play, right? Chargers game. Look at the leverage play. Oh, you got to read. He missed it. Leverage, call. This could have been personal foul, move you back, do it again. And a lot of times those goes awry. So I love seeing Q Robinson come over, like run over and put his arms around Greenlaw and try to get him out of there before it caused any sort of more of a situation than it already did. So good job on the Rook, man.
You're right. That's a very good call, given Q Robinson. Because I saw it, too. I actually tried to figure it out. I'm like, who the hell is chasing that guy? And then you pause. You can see the back of his jersey, 51.
Yeah.
And it being Q Robinson. So the veteran made a rookie mistake, and the rookie had to go save the veteran from getting in his own way.
Yeah. Interesting.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Interesting.
Man. Unbelievable. But hey, let's hope. I guess we can keep our fingers crossed for Dre Greenlaw, but the chances of him winning that appeal, I think, are basically slim to none. I want to talk about what's going down in 2 weeks from today. At 2 o'clock, we will pass the NFL trade deadline. Before we do that, let me remind you about our fan flyaway back thanks to 303 Law 4040. This time, we're sending one lucky listener and a guest.
Maybe a lady.
To Phoenix in February for the biggest party in golf. You know exactly what we're talking about. If you win, you're going to get 2 tickets to Saturday's round at TPC Scottsdale, round trip airfare for 2 from Denver, 2 nights hotel stay, and how about $500? Get you some swag from that big party. All on us. For more information and to register, go to thefanflyaway.com. That's thefanflyaway.com. If you've entered into one of our previous Fan Flyaway contests, you're already registered for this one, but when we start calling names, you're going to have to listen for your name to be called. Once you sign up for any Fan Flyaway, we'll hook you up, and we'll put you in the running for all future Fan Flyaways. So it's going to start. You might as well be in this. We always want someone from the tribe to win this bad boy. So the Fan Flyaway, shout out to 303 Law 4040. Let's send a tribe member down to Phoenix.
Yes, I love it. And I must have watched our commercial for the Fan Flyaway about 3 or 4 times last night.
I did too.
It's so funny.
We did a.
Well, Amanda was laughing at us. She's like, "You guys are so funny." And then I hadn't seen the commercial yet, and it debuted last night, I believe, on social networking. So I had to watch it a few times. Yeah,
you could see our bad golf shots. We pretend to do a golf shot. You could tell how bad we are at golf by our pretend golf shots.
I'm just gonna watch more of that conspiracy lady that does golf.
She'll get you tuned up.
I'll be right.
Oh, you know what? I needed something from the tribe. Can I ask a favor real quick?
Yes, sure.
The tribe help us out.
Tribe helps tribe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I need some tree trimming, and I want to give my business to a tribe member.
Yes, I actually do as well. And my neighbor got some, and I was like, "Ooh, that's expensive."
Dude,
so
I got home yesterday. I reverse because I'm a just in case guy. I reverse everywhere. I know people hate that, but I'm backing my truck.
I hate it less
100%
now.
of the time.
Yeah.
I always think of it this is how my brain works. Of like, if someone's trying to steal my truck, I could break out my window in my bedroom, jump in the back, I'd get in it. That's my how I explain it.
Okay.
But I get home yesterday and I literally just shut the truck door, click the lock thing, and a giant branch. Like if I had taken 3 steps that direction, it's falling on my face.
Whoa!
And so I was like, I probably should trim the trees in the front yard here. So tribe members, if you're a tree trimmer,
both of us need it.
You got a crew member, you got a homie, a friend that does it. Either hit us up on the text line, YouTube. We want to give our business to your business because you guys help us out every day. So tree trimmer in the tribe, we need one. Both of our houses.
Well, and I like that neither one of us graduated college, and whatever. If you did, congrats.
Yeah.
I hope your degree's working out for you. I appreciate it. Hopefully not in a ton of student debt. But like when my son, when he was at Washington State, and his truck needed some work, and the mechanic like gave him the homie hookup, and he's like, "Why?" And he thought it was because the Army thing, it's like thank you for your service. He goes, "No, Cougs help Cougs."
Oh, sick.
So Washington. So I'm like, we've got a fraternity, right? We've got the tribe, so tribe helps tribe. I like it.
Exactly. Let us give you some business for your tree trim company. So like I said, hit us up. I need that sooner rather than later with what's going on in my front yard. All right, Cecil. I also wanted to talk to you about running backs and really just the trade deadline coming here in a couple of weeks. You mentioned it yesterday. RJ Harvey hasn't checked the box. You gave him a 6-week window, and here we are past that 6-week window, and he has not been good. He has actually been pretty bad. I'm going to read you some stats about RJ Harvey from our buddy Luca at the Denver Post. He had that 50-yard run in week 1. Since then, RJ Harvey has ran for just 104 yards on 36 carries. That's 2.9 yards per carry.
That's terrible.
That's Audric Estime type of stuff.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Really
less than
bad.
3 yards a carry.
If you include that game, after that game, it's 2.7 yards per carry, so it's just down 0.2. That's not NFL level running back.
No.
To your point about trading for a number 2, that's not even good enough to be an NFL RB2 if you're getting 2.7 yards per carry.
Right, and the excuse of being a rookie is done. It's week 6. Now it's week 8. Like, we're past that. We're way past that. And running backs are the easiest to translate from college football to the NFL. You're doing the same thing. You're running to daylight. You're watching for colors in the jerseys, and, you're hopefully having patience as a runner. So what is it? What's the disconnect with RJ Harvey? Now, Luca also did have a video of a screen pass where 3 tight ends went out to block, and all of them missed their block, and so RJ doesn't go anywhere. That's part of it, but that's also, and Luca wasn't doing this, but I think the fans that are kind of hanging their hat on it, see, RJ can't do anything. No, he can, but what's happening is he doesn't know where to line up. He doesn't know the play call at times. Are these things good or bad?
Well, these are bad.
Doesn't
really
know where
bad.
to line up, doesn't know what the play call is, doesn't know his assignment, and then when he gets the ball, he's trying to do too much. Why? Because he's pressing. Why? Because he hasn't done anything, and he wants to prove something. So I like the intent. The intent is there with RJ, but they've got to settle down his mind. And simplifying things for the playbook, it's not just for Bo Nix. They need to simplify things for Bo Nix. Less personnel groupings, more of the plays that Bo Nix is comfortable with. They need to do that for Bo. But for RJ, they kind of need to do the same thing there as well, where it's like, you're going to be on the field. You have to know your assignment. You're in pass protection. Protecting Bo Nix is priority number 1. And if Bo's having to yell at you of where to line up, that's not good. It's week 8 now. We should expect way more from RJ Harvey than he's given us. So, yeah, as the, I think, lone RJ Harvey guy, besides Sean Payton, of like, get him going week 6. He's got to get going by week 6. I'm not saying I'm done with him or he's a bust, anything like that, but it's time to find a better option, and that's coming via the trade market.
Well, I want to know the names that you got, but I would say this about RJ. Like, all right, if I'm Bo, I continue to have to put you in the right spot. What are you doing at home? How important is football to you? Like those are the kind of questions I would be asking. If you're really about this, you wouldn't make the same assignment and alignment mistake multiple times.
Right.
I get it being a rookie and maybe you do it 2 or 3 times, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different times, making the same mistake, assignment and alignment, to me, that indicates that the guy's not taking it serious enough, that there's not extended time put on my job. It's no, when I'm at work, I work. And when I'm off work, I don't work. That's not how football works. We're in a business that makes way less money, and this business doesn't work like that. We don't work for 4 hours a day. In fact, we work 14 hours a day. We're just not here in the studio on the microphone for those 14 hours. To me, that indicates that R.J. Harvey turns football off from time to time, and that's a huge red flag.
I don't like hearing that. It's either that or his brain just gets rattled by the pro game. I mean, it happens. It's one or the other. He's either lazy away from the facility, which is not great, Bob, or his brain gets a little scrambled when he's on the field, which is, again, not great, Bob, but you can work with the latter. If it's the former, if he's not giving the videotape and it's blank like Jamarcus Russell, if he's doing that type of stuff, or you can see the iPad now, you can tell how many hours someone is logging on if they're actually ingesting what's on the screen.
Yeah,
there's ways to tell. Sean Payton told me last week he was happy with R.J. Harvey. I have a feeling that he's less happy this week, and I have a feeling that R.J. Harvey will see less playing time because of it, and I have a feeling, got lots of feelings today, that the Broncos will make a move at running back because, honestly, they need to.
So you have a couple of names. You have a top target and what it would cost?
Yeah, top target that's going to cost a day 3 pick. So 4th rounder and behind.
Okay,
and that's what you're going to get. The Breece Hall stuff is interesting. He obviously would be great, but that's kind of fantasy football stuff.
Didn't they get a 4th round pick for Devon Vele?
Yes, they did.
So there we go.
I mean, and Devon Vele can't get on the field for the Saints.
Yeah. So would you trade Devon
He's got
Vele?
4 catches on the year. Come on.
Back in camp when people are losing their mind.
Right.
Would you have said, hey, we're going to trade Devon Vele for a running back that's going to help us go to the playoffs?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would have said yes to that.
You would say yes,
Even
yes,
our man
and
Zach
yes.
Bye, who's Mr. Devon Vele.
Right. And, that's the thing. What the Broncos need to look at. Now, if you look at the standings, who's the crappy teams we can steal from? Miami Dolphins, they have Jalen Wright, who's a speed back. You could perhaps pick him up. Now, they've got Ollie Gordon there. They're not going to trade him. And Devon Achane is their lead back, so Jalen Wright is their 3rd back. Miami's not going anywhere. The Jets, who you just played, you could look at the Jets and say, okay, Khalil Herbert is there. How many times have I talked about Khalil Herbert?
You wanted him last year.
You get him for nothing. Hey, here's a 7th rounder. And you go to Muji, and you say, all right, Darren, here's a 7th rounder for that backup reserve running back. That's an option there. If you look around the league, other teams with down records, you already have Bidet. I'm not sure if you go back to Baltimore to get another version of Bidet like Keaton Mitchell, right? And by the way, Keaton Mitchell is the player that I compared R.J. Harvey to.
Okay.
How many people know Keaton Mitchell? Not many. But when R.J. Harvey was drafted by the Broncos, and the pro compare who somebody said MJD, which was ridiculous. Whoever said that, it's not great, Bob. Yeah. I said Keaton Mitchell. So do you want to go get Keaton Mitchell when you supposedly have the new Keaton Mitchell, but R.J. Harvey's not doing anything? Tennessee's probably not going to trade Tyjae Spears. I'm just looking down the list of the bad
teams.
Going
back to Keaton Mitchell. Could Keaton Mitchell turn R.J. Harvey into Keaton Mitchell?
Well, Keaton Mitchell would give you what R.J.'s supposed to.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he's a veteran.
But then, take R.J. under the wing, and then at some point, R.J.'s a serviceable option at the running back spot?
Yeah, maybe. Or he could see how he does business, and then, I need to do that because they're the same player.
Because you know what a big worry of mine is with this conversation?
What's that?
All right, let's say they're not happy, and they're in the interest of trading for a running back. If R.J. Harvey's already not, putting the pro in professional football player, what does that do to his confidence, his time spent getting back on the right track?
Now, the Bears are 4-2, so this conversation's a little bit different, but Roshan Johnson's their 3rd back. So they've got Kyle Monangai, who is a very talented rookie who did flash a little bit this last week. DeAndre Swift is their starter. They're going to run him into the ground. He's already a little bit banged up. So maybe they would let go of Roshan Johnson, who was the backup to Bijan Robinson at Texas. Hey, Priest Holmes was a backup to Ricky Williams, so I kind of like the idea of Roshan. A little bit tougher to pull him away from the Bears with their current record at 4-2. And then I look at the Atlanta Falcons. They have a former 1,000-yard rusher from a few years ago in Tyler Algier. and he's a big-bodied running back. He's never going to play because of Bijan Robinson. He did get 10 carries the last time out, so he's played a little bit. And, 10 carries. Has R.J. Harvey even got 10 carries in a game? No. So Tyler Algier is a player that you could get and you could work on his contract and say, okay, it's a cheaper option. You probably get him for like a 5th round, maybe a 6th rounder. Because he himself, I believe Algier was a 5th rounder a few years ago out of BYU. So, Algier is the type of player you look to with some power, been a 1,000-yard rusher in this league. He did it as a rookie. So that's the type of player. The Breece Hall stuff is interesting. That's a borderline superstar back. Breece Hall on the right team, Breece Hall is like a superstar back. Breece Hall on the Jets, not as good. Breece Hall in Denver, awesome, but that's a little more fantasy football. Maybe they do it. I'd be happy if they did, but I look to options that are more realistic, and that's where Tyler Algier comes in. Keaton Mitchell comes in. These type of conversations.
And I kind of like those names that you're talking about because I don't want this to be like, and maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I shouldn't speculate on what fans are feeling or could be saying. I feel like if they go trade for a running back, that's all but giving up on R.J. Harvey. And maybe that's not true, and maybe he gets another chance at next year's training camp because they did that for Audric Estime, right? He was the odd man out. He got a chance in training camp, and he spent his time crying about what Philip Lindsay was saying rather than getting better at football.
Right.
And now he doesn't have a football team. I just don't want it to be that, hey, we got the guy now. We're giving up on R.J. Harvey. So you're punting on a 2nd-round pick? Those are pretty important, man.
I would want to pick Phil's brain about when Melly Mel was added. Because Phil's a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah.
And then Mel comes in, and Phil's talked about it, kind of messed with his head a little bit. So
I think that's normal.
At the end of the day, though, you either do it or you don't. And I'm even saying that for Phil, who's a dear friend. You either do it or you don't. They brought in somebody. They drafted Devontae Booker to take over for C.J. Anderson. Devontae said, I'm not carrying his pads. C.J. went out there and beat him. Okay? Yeah. So at the end of the day, there's always going to be competition. Always going to be competition. Be better than them.
I like that. I like that a lot. By the way, shout out to a couple of you guys that have hit us up with your tree trimming. Aaron at Natural Tree Care says he can take care of us. We got Mike, who's given us an opportunity here at Green Arbor Masters. So we have a couple of options. Maybe you use one and I use the other. Something like that.
Something like that.
We'll get it
thank
done.
you guys. Thank you. Tribe helps tribe.
Tribe helps tribe. That's exactly. And I literally need someone like tomorrow, so I'm gonna be hitting y'all up later on this afternoon. So appreciate all you guys. All right, Cease. I want to keep this conversation going. I want to ask this: would it be running more, throwing less screens, taking more deep shots, or is it something else completely off the board that I didn't mention with those three? What would be one thing you could change about the Broncos offense before the Cowboys game? It's only one, but it would change for sure. Text us, tell us in YouTube. We'll catch up there and give our answer next.
Bo Nix and the Broncos snatch victory from the jaws of defeat and took down the Giants with a thrilling come-from-behind performance. Nearly halfway through his sophomore season, has Bo shown enough to prove he can be the next franchise QB in the Mile High City. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Over 90,000 five-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage doors is what we do. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
I dared Archwell Health to keep track of my vitals and my grandkids' names.
I dared Archwell Health to simplify my prescriptions, so Max and I have more time to play. Good boy.
And I dared Archwell Health to be closer than my neighborhood coffee shop.
Our members dared us to do more as a primary care provider for adults age 60 and up. So we made it our mission. Visit archwellhealth.com and become a member today. Archwell Health. We dare to care.
Attention Denver and Colorado Springs. This is a can't-miss real estate buying opportunity Saturday, October 25th. 35, 50, and 105-acre ranches starting at just $59.9. The ranches have big mountain views and utilities like electricity, high-speed internet, and county-maintained road frontage. All just minutes from Colorado Springs. 35 acres, just $59.9. 50 acres, just $89.9. 105 acres, just $149.9. This is your chance to buy a huge piece of land in the booming Colorado Springs market. This is not an auction. The prices are set and the ranches are priced to sell in a single day, Saturday, October 25th. Call our friendly staff for more information or to book your appointment. Call 866-CO-RANCH. That's 866-CO-RANCH. 866-267-2624.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
You are listening to Dover and Cecil on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, quick update. Going back to some of our trade conversation.
Okay, yeah.
You were both out in the area at different times, so I don't know what you heard and what I heard.
Oh, I heard.
Okay.
I heard. It's not great, Bob.
It's not. Our producer, Drew Spivak, let us know, like, hey, love the conversation, Broncos talking, all that stuff. But the idea of trading and Sean going to get a guy might be wishful thinking for two reasons. One, you kind of hinted at, but Drew said, RJ's Sean's guy. Him trading for a running back would be, without him saying it, because he would never say it, an admission of, ooh, I wasted a second-round pick. I missed on my second-round pick.
Right.
Sean Payton admitting he is wrong doesn't seem to be something Sean Payton's interested in doing.
Well, let's go down the list of Big 12 running backs from last year that came out in the pros, and I hope I get them all. Because you had Ollie Gordon, Oklahoma State, looking pretty good, right? And you had Taj Brooks, Texas Tech, who was a sixth-rounder, by the way, who could have been here, who had power, who has receiving ability. Like, Taj Brooks is just waiting in the wings for his opportunity with the Bengals. He would have been nice. DJ Giddens, I've heard Phil go on and on and on about Giddens. Yes, there's Cam Scatterboo. We've got to talk about Cam Scatterboo and everything that he could have been for this team. So if we get down the list, okay, where's RJ Harvey? Right?
Yeah.
And Sean, that was Sean's secret. His super secret double code, like, drink more Ovaltine. What? RJ Harvey in the second. What? Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Like, you need your secret password to know who Sean Payton wants at running back. He wanted the wrong guy. I mean, Harvey's got to do it, man. He has to. We're going to give him this entire year, but if we go into year two, that's not how this league works. Not at running back. It's not, now he gets it in year two. Look at who I talked about with Tyler Algier, former 1,000-yard rusher as a rookie. He came in as a Algier, what did I say? His 5th round pick. He came in as a day 3 pick, ran for 1,000 yards. Look at what Bill's doing in Washington.
Yeah.
Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt. You could have had him instead of Caleb Lohner. Imagine this backfield with J.K. Dobbins and Bill, and you would have had a situation like Royce Freeman, Phillip Lindsay, because you still would have drafted R.J. in the 2nd, just like you drafted Royce Freeman in the 3rd, but Phillip Lindsay was your better back, and you got him undrafted. Well, you could have drafted R.J. Harvey in the 2nd and still gotten Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt in the 7th, and he would have been your better back. And competition, it breeds more productivity, potential productivity. I'm not about hurting R.J. Harvey's feelings. I don't care. You've got to be better in this league or you're going to be gone. At that position, tragically, we haven't talked about this yet. It's a down subject, so there's a reason why. Doug Martin passed away.
Yeah, I saw.
Do you realize that a 2-time, almost 1,500-yard rusher in 2 seasons, he only played 6 years?
Yeah.
And he didn't get his money from Tampa when he signed his contract, like his 2nd deal that everyone looks forward to.
He's only 36 years old.
Because he had Adderall suspension, and that negated his, it entered the contract, had some language in it to take away his bonus. So he didn't get, it was a $35 million deal with $15 guaranteed. He never got that $15 million guaranteed. 6 years for a guy that was a 2-time 1,500-yard rusher. What did Phil play? 6 years, 5 years, whatever?
Yeah, right around there.
I mean, you can come in, you can be everything, and then you can be done. That's how that position is. R.J. Harvey's got to get way better, way faster, or else he's going to be one of those like, hey, remember R.J. Harvey played for 3 years and then was out of the league? That's what he's looking at if he doesn't turn it around.
But there's another concern with that. You're kind of touching on it there of who's going to tell Sean he can't draft running backs anymore then? Audric Estime, that experiment was a giant failure. R.J. Harvey's up to this point, it's a failure.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's still plenty of time for the kid to figure it out, but he's not giving us a lot of hope or ground to stand on. So, like we've been asking, who's going to tell Sean no? Who's going to keep that dude in check? Because if R.J. Harvey doesn't work out and they find a way to ship him out, or whoever, Philadelphia picked up Estime this offseason, is he just going to have a green light to do it again and waste another Denver Broncos draft pick? So if this is correct, if what we're saying is correct about RJ not being the man, that's an RJ Harvey in the 2nd round, Crawshaw in the 6th round, who's been good, but you didn't need to pick him. You could have got him in free agency, and Caleb Lohner in the 7th round. That's 3 draft picks that they screwed up this year. You get 6 or 7 of those every year, and they ruined 3 of them? That makes me worried, man. That makes me feel not good.
Did Jahdae Barron falling throw off their draft plan? I think it's a fair conversation because it's one of those, they're not even supposed to be here things.
No, you're right. I think that's a fair conversation.
I mean, you would be staring at Jihad Campbell. That's what you would have inside linebacker fixed.
For the next 7-8 years.
Exactly. And you had a stud ILB. You would have already gotten Greenlaw at that point, so you'd have Greenlaw and Jihad Campbell. I mean, my God.
That's pretty solid.
That'd be rock solid. So, Jahdae Barron, we appreciate in the future, you give him 3 years. This is not a Barron conversation. It's just at the time when that guy's on the board, when he wasn't really supposed to be on the board, did that throw off their draft plan? Because then it was going for Harvey, and I know that Jacksonville wanted R.J. Harvey. They were working really hard to get him, and they could have moved up, and I believe it was Liam Cohen that said, nah, we'll wait, and Sean Payton pounced. So Harvey might have been gone anyway. But if we look at this situation and go, why was this thing off track? Now, I know the fix. Somebody's not going to like this.
What is it?
I'll do the Martin Lawrence and Blue Streak to Dave Chappelle. This one's going to hurt. Because Sean Payton, all he has to do is open up his office door and be like, hey, George, did you hear me? They're talking about R.J. Harvey being my pick, George. Can I say it was your pick, George?
Yeah.
Can I just blame you for that?
Yeah.
George, you were really the one. I didn't even know, George.
Yeah.
It was R.J. Harvey, and I'm watching Cam Scatterboo, but you're the one, George.
Yeah.
Can we say that, please?
Yeah.
Can you do me a solid today?
Yeah.
I promise I won't bring up New Orleans for a week.
Yeah.
That was one of our better ones.
I love that. I mean, somebody's got to fall on the sword, and it's not going to be Sean Payton. So that means they're probably not going to trade for a back. You're just going to try to force it. Harvey has the talent. Again, I was calling for him for a reason. That talent in this offense could be special. He himself, Harvey, is dropping the ball. by either not being prepared or not working hard enough behind the scenes. Sean Payton, it's the reason why I asked happy. The reason why I use that language. You got to learn how to ask questions. Not the whole, you're going to give up your play calling? No. The way you ask that question, the proper way, is like, hey, former Broncos quarterback Ben DiNucci was tweeting during the game, like, maybe it's time for Davis Webb. I mean, I don't know, but that's a quarterback. What would you say when people comment like that, Sean? Much better answer. Mm-hmm. Much better answer than the whole, like, my question. Here's a question.
Well, and it was, what was the answer? Nope. We like our operation.
Yep.
We understand our operation, I think.
Yeah, but you bring up former pro like DiNucci saying that, Sean might give you a little something.
Because then it's not your idea.
Exactly.
It's the idea of someone he actually respects.
Right. That's been in the league. You know, it's got skins on the wall. Not many, but still.
Because he doesn't respect any of us.
Oh, God, no.
Like, no. I think he plays nice, but he probably thinks we're all idiots.
Sometimes.
Actually, don't even probably. He thinks we're all idiots.
I was told one time after the Lucas Krull thing, by someone in the know, they said, hey, Sean knows you know ball, just don't tell him you know ball.
He doesn't. He doesn't want to be told.
Because Sean knows all of us.
He knows all of us.
How do you think he knew Alex and Joe in the internet show?
Yeah.
He's not calling out Alex and Joe from an internet show because he's just guessing. He knows all of us. Mm-hmm. So when I was told by someone in the know that said, hey, Sean knows you know ball, but you can't tell him you know ball.
If anybody's going to tell other people how much they know about ball, it's going to be Sean Payton. Not you, Cecil. It's going to be Sean Payton.
I'm sorry.
All right, I'm getting ready to get out of here. I got the Nuggets.
You're going to go play basketball. You're going to foul out. Wait, no, you're not going to foul out.
Well, dude, it's kind of like we're playing against the coaches.
Okay.
So it's all of us media versus the coaches.
Okay.
And they're going to beat our ass.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You know, can we look good? Can we not? Can we score more than 4 points?
Right.
Like Boston's media. That's the biggest goal here. I would have loved to play against other media to make that a little bit more fun, but this is still going to be an awesome outing. I think we're going to be well represented as the fan, so we're going to do some social media stuff. Who knows? If there's the time allows, maybe I'll call in and report back as to how it's going.
We'll have the hotline open for you.
Okay, I appreciate you guys. What do you guys think I'm going to win the MVP? You could be honest, Kevin.
Of course.
Okay, thank you very much. Cecil?
Why is Spivak saying no?
Yeah, that was a quick head
I was going to say yes.
Drew?
No shot. There's just no shot.
Why?
I think there's, well, I don't know, because I've never seen you play.
I'm not the best basketball player, but I'm all right.
I feel like Zach's probably more likely to win MVP.
Zach's better than me.
Zach's
for sure.
better than you, so that's kind of why I lean towards
Well,
him.
and Zach might take it a little more serious than I'm going to.
You're going to totally take it serious. Who you kidding?
Yeah, you're going to get out
there. You're going to get there.
Right.
And
You're
like,
probably right.
Man, I can score on JJ Barea. Man.
Just launch threes, dude.
That's my game, actually. So that's all I'm going to do.
You are Michael Porter Jr. today.
Oh, nice.
You stand in that corner.
Stand in the corner.
And just launch. Don't even have to play defense.
Anybody got a diaper I can put on my shoulder? Make me look the part?
There you go. Or as soon as you step across the timeline, just start chucking.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm just shooting threes the whole time. So you boys hold it down. We got a little fantasy football, right? Cease, it's a waiver wire Tuesday. It's time to start making those claims. So on the text line, on YouTube, send your questions. Cecil's going to answer those bad boys. Coming up next.
What a roller coaster. After trailing for nearly the entire game, the Broncos offense erupted with a 33-point fourth quarter and sent the Giants back to the Big Apple with a loss. What can Sean Payton do to get his offense going before the final frame? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, Stoke here. If you need a hip or knee replacement surgery, check out Colorado Joint Replacement. They're home to some of the top trained surgeons in the state using the latest technology. Their expert surgeons offer the most innovative joint replacement care in the Front Range. To schedule an appointment, visit coloradojoint.org.
Whatever you're looking for when you head out into the wild, keep an open mind. Sometimes the real treasure is the journey itself. Sure enough, there's treasure out there. Sometimes it's something you didn't expect to find. And more often than not, it's as simple as the memories you make. Make some memories of your own with a new vehicle from Corwin Toyota. Family driven for over 100 years.
Hey guys, your boy Steve here today about my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if he can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house, all cash, and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
Winning matters. Postman Law has recovered over $3 billion for clients. Injured? Call 844-POSTMAN. It's free to see if you have a case. Others promise. Postman delivers.
Most business owners and decision makers work hard but stay frustrated because customers simply don't know they exist. Marketing isn't about being flashy. It's about making sure people understand how you solve their problem. Audio, video, and online campaigns put your message where your customers are already paying attention. And your friends at DenverSports, they specialize in connecting customers to businesses. The moment you get clear and show up consistently, growth follows. Don't stay the best kept secret in town. Visit DenverSports.com and click on the Advertise with Us button and start growing today.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Baseball season's heating up, and so is Twin Peaks. The bases are loaded, the beverages are cold, and the views always scenic. Catch every pitch at the #1 sports bar in town. Who are you rooting for? Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Stay up to date on the Broncos and the latest news from around the league with our NFL insider James Palmer, exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Mondays on The Rundown with Richie Carney, Tuesday afternoons on The Drive, and Friday mornings on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, all season long. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. It's Dover and Cecil on Denver Sports 104.3.
Basketball game. Our man Zach Bai is going to be there as well. Can't wait for those updates to come in. But in this segment, before Richie Carney joins the show at 1 p.m., we're going to do fantasy football old school, just like we used to, minus the calls. So on YouTube, on the YouTube chat, hi, send me your fantasy questions for your waiver wire because it is week 8. We are halfway through your fantasy season, basically, and I want to know your record and what kind of help that you need. And by the way, in week 8, we do have 6 teams on bye. So no Lions, no Raiders, not that you're going to play any of your Raiders, no Rams, no Cardinals, no Seahawks, and no Jaguars. So how do you navigate your waiver wire with 6 teams on bye? You had better be careful. And if I look over at quarterback position where you need some help, Bo Nix should be in everybody's league already, but if we look back to that year's class, J.J. McCarthy may be coming back for the Minnesota Vikings. And what's interesting to note, about JJ is that Kevin O'Connell reportedly saying like, hey, JJ's, we're working behind the scenes. We're getting him up to speed on everything that we're doing. It's funny that he's saying that now in the middle of the season because you're looking at Carson Wentz being hurt and Max Brosmer. Yes, Max Brosmer perhaps starting for that team if J.J. McCarthy isn't able to go. Now, if he is, you can get him out there. You can get him basically for nothing and then throw in McCarthy as a quarterback 2 super flex type of leagues. That's what changes the game with young quarterbacks like a McCarthy is that you're not going to start him as your number 1 quarterback. You are going to start Bo Nix as that. But with McCarthy, he's more of a QB2 superflex type of player, and you just got to watch the injury report, see if he's going to play. But remember, it's a Thursday night game against the Chargers in Week 8. So keep an eye on that. And again, Max Brosmer, is Carson Wentz going to start or no? Because he's hurt.
O'Connell announced Wentz will start this week.
He is going to start. Okay, so no Max Brosmer talk. It is going to be Carson Wentz once again. Keep in mind, again, you're looking forward to your fantasy playoffs. Maybe by that time, McCarthy would get it there. And if not, well, you just wash him away because you didn't spend a high draft pick on him because he's obviously on your waiver wire. So going to take your questions via YouTube, and we're going to talk about your fantasy teams and see what kind of help that you need. And this one comes in from Denny. I have Burrow and need QB. I have Daniel Jones and Stroud sitting 5-1, but won't matter if I don't have a guy in the playoffs. So, you look at quarterback position, there's not a lot out there. Jackson Dart, maybe if he's out there, you'd be considering that, but it's really a down week on the waiver wire at pretty much every position except maybe tight end. We'll get to running backs in just a little bit here as well, but since I brought up tight end, I'm going to talk more about Oronde Gadsden, who should have been a day 3 pick for the Denver Broncos. Whatever, I'll get over it eventually. But Gadsden coming off that 7 for 164 and 1 touchdown stat line. This guy is a freak athlete. You obviously heard us talk about him on this show back in January when he's down at the Shrine game making plays. Now for the Chargers at the expense of Quentin Johnston. You had Quentin Johnston stock earlier this year. You're not feeling as good about it now because, well, McConkey is doing more. Now Gadsden is doing more, which leads me to my conversation, the forever conversation every year in fantasy football. It's windows. There's windows of opportunity that you need to take advantage of. You had that with Quentin Johnston. That seems to be over, and it now seems to be the Oronde Gadsden window. So make sure to take advantage. And in Yahoo leagues, he's available in 72% of leagues right now. So if you need help at the tight end position, I give you the LA Chargers one, Oronde Gadsden, who can come through and help your fantasy team. And at tight end, this year you're pretty much going to take what you can get, and you're going to be happy to do that again with a Justin Herbert-led offense, with a passing game that can attack downfield. You like what Gadsden is doing there, and he can help you out in your fantasy team. And by the way, Gadsden, the 4th tight end to record 7+ receptions, 160+ yards, and 1 touchdown. Pete Mitchell was the last tight end to do that in 1995. That's it. As far as rookie tight ends, 4th rookie tight end to do that in NFL history, Gadsden has done that. So you love to see that, and you love that for your fantasy team. You saw it against the Broncos, and honestly, you've seen it before the Broncos game, but it should continue on with Theo Johnson with the New York Giants. Theo Johnson there to be kind of a security blanket for Jackson Dart. Theo Johnson is there as one of their big playmakers, of course, without Malik Neighbors. They've been going more to Wan'Dale Robinson at the wide receiver position. When he looks for tight ends, he's looking for Theo Johnson. He's out there in about 62% of Yahoo leagues, which is kind of the standard of what you go on. He's not out there in every league, but if he's out there in your league, you can pick up Theo Johnson and make good on that. Dalton Schultz. Now, this isn't just for the Broncos game in a couple of weeks, but Dalton Schultz with the Houston Texans. You look at his favorite target for C.J. Stroud, catching 9 of 10 passes. That's 4 straight games with at least 5 catches for Schultz, who has snagged 24 or 28 targets over those last 4 games. 4 straight games there with at least 5 catches for Dalton Schultz. Probably going to do a lot against the Denver Broncos. Plus, you have to look at a Nico Collins situation, perhaps sidelined with a concussion. They do have the Iowa State Cyclone rookie duo of Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll, but you could look at Schultz and say, well, that's more of a seasoned veteran than the rookies. If Nico Collins is down or struggling, it could be Dalton Schultz that earns even a larger target share for the Houston Texans. And again, when he plays the Broncos, everyone's going to want to start your tight ends against the Denver Broncos. Jake Ferguson, everyone has him. He's having a historic tight end season. You're obviously going to start him this week against the Denver Broncos. But we're talking waiver wire help and the help that you need on your fantasy team. Oh, man, Metal Man 90. You're hitting on my heartstrings here because Mike Evans, not our Mike Evans with the mom jeans, but Mike Evans, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is he just done for the year? It seemed like this was going to be his last year, and now Mike Evans goes down with that injury last night, and you absolutely hate to see it because you love the fact that since he came into the league, he's been a 1,000-yard receiver every single year. This seemed like it was going to be his last year, so what do you do there? A couple of things. One, Alec Pierce with the Indianapolis Colts is out there, not rostered in 70% of Yahoo leagues, so a wide receiver flex play with that speed, and you know Daniel Jones is finding him. You can bid on him this week, including Tez Johnson, Bo Nix's adopted brother. He's there with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's a player now without Mike Evans. Emeka Egbuka banged up. We know Chris Godwin perhaps coming back from his injury. It's a different injury on his leg. It's not the same leg injury that caused him to miss games at the start of this season. So with Chris Godwin perhaps coming back, Tez Johnson is in line to do more there as well. And watch out for the Carolina Panthers passing game, which could get a spark because you got Bryce Young with an ankle injury. Andy Dalton coming in, likely to start for at least this week, if not more. Dalton relied almost solely on Leggett on the game-clinching drive this last time out for the Panthers, so Xavier Leggett becomes a player now you look at in your fantasy league as someone you can rely on as well. And then I'm going to totally mess up his name, Kamari DK with the Tennessee Titans. You did have Tyler Lockett ask for his release, and he was granted his release. So you know you've got Calvin Ridley sidelined, and DK comes in, and his last name is spelled D-I-K-E, so if you're looking for it on your waiver wire, it's D-I-K-E. DK is the way you pronounce it, Kamari DK. Remember him at, Florida, where he was definitely a big-time target as, I believe, 50% of his targets last year were 20 yards or more downfield, so a big play threat that no one's going to have. He's available on almost every single waiver wire out there. So Kamari DK is a player from the Titans you could look to if you need sort of deep flex or what I call what the heck flex help at the wide receiver position. And of course, you're going to play the carousel with your Broncos, Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims. It's going to be one of them each week, right? Hopefully more Mims going forward, but we'll see if Franklin can kind of fight back and kind of build off of the momentum that he's built so far this year. It is Dover and Cecil. Our man Josh Dover is on assignment as he's going to Ball Arena to play in that coaches versus media Nuggets basketball game. So Richie Carney slides in here next, and we're talking about Sean Payton. Would he possibly give up play calling, or is that a fool's errand? That's next.
Christian Brown is here to stay. The Nuggets locked down their rising star with a 5-year extension worth $125 million. With CB cemented into the starting lineup, is it officially championship or bust in Denver this season? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
You could save thousands of dollars on the products your business uses the most with the Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred Pricing. Registering is free and easy. Just have your tax ID or business or contractor's license ready. But don't wait. The current preferred pricing benefit will end on November 15th. Visit your local Pro Desk to register now and unlock the deepest savings on the products you choose.
Select Health, how can we help?
Hi, my CEO needs a POV on the ROI of HD HPs. Buy EOD.
Okay, so you're a small business. Let's start there.
How'd you know that?
Let's just say it's not my first RODEO. Get it? Rodeo.
Oh, right. Letters.
Let's get started.
Real people, real answers in real time. Select Health. Insurance made simple. Learn more at selecthealth.org.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're over 50, it's likely you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Hey, sports fans, did you know that O'Mara owns GMC on 104th? And now it's time to check them out.
That's right, and O'Mara GMC announces the lowest lease payments of the year. GMC Hummer, just $549. Sierra 1500, just $479.
Lease a GMC Hummer for only $549 a month or a Sierra 1500 for just $479?
That's O'Mara GMC on 104th. OmaraGMC.com.
Stock SZ167052 and SU104091. See the website for complete details.
At Ameristar, the best memories don't trend, they last. Their stories we're still telling 20 years later, like winning big at a table with your closest friends, or going all out on a night you hope lasts forever. Like watching your team clinch the playoffs on a giant screen, or stepping away for a weekend you'll never forget. Whatever you do it for the memories, and we'll do everything we can to make them last. Ameristar Blackhawk. Come visit or book your next memories at AmeristarBlackhawk.com. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
Halloween's here. Costumes, candy, and maybe a few scares. But nothing scarier than being ghosted by your insurance company after an accident. At Postman Law, we've delivered over $3 billion to our clients, and we make it simple. Speed, ease, results. With free case evaluations and no fee unless we win, you're never left in the dark. Call 844-POSTMAN or visit postmanlaw.com. Others promise. Postman delivers. This is attorney advertising.
Catch Telestrator Tuesday weekly on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, where Stink or Stoke dive into the past weekend's games with a coach's eye, using insights into what went right and wrong on critical plays. Telestrator Tuesdays, powered by Colorado Credit Union. Love where you live, love where you bank.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents Dover.
Maybe a childhood dream of playing against some former NBA hoopers in a little media versus Denver Nuggets assistant coaching staff game, Cecil?
Right, yeah. Dover out there, he's got goals, he's got dreams to be MVP of this.
He's got spirit, yes, he does.
Coaches and media game. Well, that's what he wants to be. He wants to be the MVP or foul a bunch of people.
Listen, if you're going to play in that game, I think you should have at least some form of aspiration to be the MVP. Otherwise, what are you doing?
Completely embarrass yourself.
Yeah,
like you're
Jake
playing
Shapiro
against
might.
NBA coaches.
Yeah, who, and I say this at Broncos training camp every year, watching some of the Broncos assistants when they are helping out with the drills and stuff, like the way that some of these assistants throw a football, you're like, oh, you were the best quarterback in the history of your high school, and maybe you just didn't make it all the way to the pros, and you played college ball and all that. There's some serious athletes on the assistant coaching side or coaching side of professional sports.
Yeah. It's something that it's going to be a great measuring stick for both Zach Bye and Josh Dover, so it's going to be fun, and it's kind of a fun, unique thing. We don't get that with the Broncos. I've always wanted like a media combine, but there's probably like lawyers and stuff involved where...
somebody tried to start that here. You remember Jordan?
Yes.
With the Broncos?
Yes.
He tried to start that.
Yes.
He was yoked. He was in very good shape. I'll just put it that way. And he tried to put out, I'm going to be a don't be that guy right now. I can already feel it. He put out a challenge to all of the Denver media.
Okay.
And he wanted to do a media combine, and he only made one event. I don't know if that was intentionally or otherwise. It was bench press.
I was going to say, for him, it was bench press.
Yep. And he bench pressed 225, standard combine weight. And I think he did it like 9 times. And he put the challenge out there, and I saw it. And I was friendly with Jordan at the time. And I went up to my apartment gym at the time, no spotter, by myself, and I pushed it 11 times. And I took video of it, which felt very cringy.
Yes.
Don't be that guy.
Yes, very
but
much
you got to prove that you did it.
Exactly.
So I took the video of it and I posted it, and I just asked him real quick, is 11 more than 9? and that was the end of it. I never got a secondary challenge. Like, there wasn't like, okay, well, I guess we'll have to settle it in the 40-yard dash.
Right.
What's your 3 cone? None of that. But I
vertical
would,
at least.
Yeah, I wouldn't do good in that. I would very much enjoy a Denver media combine, because I think that it would be satisfying to me to see some people who have very big voices but very little else otherwise to offer, embarrass themselves.
Well, it's funny that, we're all like quote-unquote experts, right? Because our guy, Matt Moore, I've heard that maybe he's got an odd shot. And I'm like, Matt Moore knows more about basketball than anyone else, but he can't shoot a basketball, apparently.
Great follow on Twitter.
Yeah, and a great dude. Matt's a friend, but I've never seen him play basketball, but I heard it wasn't great, Bob. So that's funny. Someone watched me throw a football. It'd probably go like 30 yards, you know what I mean? So I know that a lot of people would take enjoyment in that. I do have to ask you, it's not Don't Be That Guy Wednesday, but I did see you were like deadlifting or something. Came across my timeline. I was like, there's Richie Carney.
Yep.
He's in the gym. It is cringy, though.
My gym posted it of me. I didn't post it myself.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask.
I shared it, but the gym posted it of me.
Okay. Then that's fine. That's fine. If the gym is doing that, because, like, for me, sick brag, bro, I've got a Peloton. I've got a Peloton tread. I've got weights in the garage. Like, I don't need to go to the gym. I probably wouldn't enjoy the experience. 1, the smell. 2, the everyone running around trying to look at me with all the cell phones and stuff. I don't get down like that. I don't like it. But if the gym posted that, you're very correct to share it.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't, other than proving Jordan wrong, you wouldn't take your cell phone, tripod, set it up, get out of my shot.
No.
Type of guy?
No. I'm not looking to go viral on TikTok.
Okay.
Catching somebody's reaction in the background or
right.
that.
Right.
No, that was, the gym was making a post about it, and they asked me to do a thing for them to show.
Also, one of my Don't Be That Guys at the gym. Don't be that guy that needs to shave your nether regions in front of everybody at the gym in the locker room.
You've brought that up multiple times.
It sticks in my craw.
I've just never, sticking a razor in there, is part of hygiene, I guess, but I've never.
At the gym?
I've never seen that.
You've never seen that?
No.
You've seen dudes walking around in the nude.
Oh, God. It's
everywhere. Right. Wear a towel.
Only if you're above a certain age, though. I feel like it's not.
Is it gray hair?
Yes.
You get the smoke crotch and you're like, I'm going to just show it off.
Yes, because you're like I've and part of me respects it. You're like, I've lived a life, For some people, it's like, hey, I went to war. I've seen a lot. You know what I mean? I've retired. I've accomplished. I've had kids and grandkids. I've sired a family. What else do I have to prove to anybody else? I'm just going to let it all hang out.
It sounds like, minus the war stuff, it sounds like I might need to do that then. Because I'm a wear a towel guy. I'm very proud of the way that I look.
That's what gets you to go to the gym in this conversation, is that you can just
it out. Wander around in the nude.
This is the one place I truly feel myself.
Yes, I feel at home. It feels like, yes, I've done all those things minus the war stuff. But I'm like, okay, maybe it is about time. Maybe that's a sign of getting old, right? I take a bunch of vitamins. I talk about getting sunlight. Like, there's a list of old things. Did you see FanDuel? You keep track of FanDuel, of course. They had the UNC game last Thursday with Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco.
Oh, yeah, it was the Icy Hot Bowl.
And it was, when do you become UNC status? The over-under was 27.5, and I thought that was about 10 years way too low.
Wow, if you're telling me that I'm closing in, I'm over half a
You're
decade
over
into
UNC status.
That's crazy.
Kevin Kistner is over UNC status, and I thought UNC was like 40.
Yeah.
So Dover would be just freshly minted UNC status.
Yeah, and I would say that qualifies, and I'm sure the RamosLaw.com text line or the YouTube chat can disagree with it. But I would say, when you get that involuntary grunt when you're getting up off the couch, that might be doing it. But I actually do that sometimes now. So maybe I am. Maybe it is around 27 and a half.
Maybe.
But
the world may never know. But we're here. Richie, it's good to have you here,
It
man.
is good to be here, and I'm still coming down a little bit, Cecil, from the high, the euphoria after the disgust that
you jumped on the post-game show.
I did. I texted you. I was like, "Hey, if you need me, I'm there. I got it." Because I had my thoughts were just spinning, and I was like, "I want to talk about this with someone."
Yes,
and I was like, "You're the only place to do it." So I was happy to do it. Had fun, and I'm still coming down from that high and that glass case of emotion that I was in there for 4 quarters.
I would just warn you, I hope you save the link, 1, because it's the same link that I would send every time. But 2, if they lose against the Cowboys, I'm going to need a minute. I'm going to need a minute. That win was crazy, and it was great to have you on. People enjoyed having you on. But if they lose against the Cowboys, just give me like 30 minutes.
Hey, you got it. You got it. Well,
before you enter the chat.
In the fallout of that game, one of the more historic comebacks in franchise history, on a day that was honoring some pretty significant people and teams in Broncos history, we got some inklings and some hints about changes that could be coming on the offensive side of the ball, better or worse. That's for you to decide coming up next.
The Fan Flyaway is back, presented by 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. To kick off 2026, Denver Sports 1043 The Fan is sending you to Phoenix for the biggest party in golf. Airfare, hotel tickets, and $500 in spending money, all included. Head to thefanflyaway.com to register. That's thefanflyaway.com. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painter's Trust kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full lineup is only at the one place pros rely on. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery. Or order online and pick it up in-store. Kills primers exclusively at the Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
It's back. Football is back, Broncos country, which means summer is almost over. And that means it's time for game days. Whether you're heading to Empower Field or traveling to Boulder to cheer on Coach Prime and the Buffs, you got to get there in style and on time. So let my friends at Hermes Worldwide handle the traffic and parking, and you handle the rest, which means have as much fun as possible and make as many memories as you can. So let Hermes Worldwide get you to and from the game safe. All you need to do is call Hermes Worldwide at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/DenverSports to book your next ride today.
At 303 Law 4040, we know getting into an accident stinks, and so does getting worked over by the insurance company or even your slick-talking made-for-TV lawyer. So if we can help, just give us a call. 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303 Law 4040.
For more than 52 years, Colorado families have trusted Gravina's Window Center of Littleton to protect their homes. And today you can do the same with 25% off Infinity from Marvin windows. The fiberglass windows built to last a lifetime and flexible financing at $0 down. There's never been a better time. Call 303-794-0490 or visit windowsforyourhome.com. Gravina's Window Center of Littleton, the family-owned company Colorado counts on.
Are joint pain or injuries keeping you from living your best life? I'm Dr. Joel Cherdak with Denver Regenerative Medicine. We don't believe in one size fits all. Instead, we create personalized stem cell treatment plans using your own stem cells or donor cells to help regenerate joints, repair torn muscles and ligaments, and restore mobility. For a limited time, get 10% off through October. Don't wait. Book your free consultation now at denverregen.com. That's denverregen.com.
Brenda Stokely from my friends at Roller Auction, leader in Colorado auctions for over 40 years. They conduct over 150 auctions every year, selling tens of thousands of items at the price you set. Auctions are held regularly for Colorado government agencies, and they always have big-ticket items at great prices. That's why I love Roller Auction. And almost all bidding is conducted online in real time, and it's open to the public. Anyone can participate. Check back regularly. New auctions are added weekly. Be the first to know about new auctions available for bidding when you sign up for email notifications. Go to rollerauction.com/thefan.
Don't miss Colorado football's 2 remaining home games of the 2025 season. Celebrate homecoming with the Buffaloes as CU faces the Arizona Wildcats on Saturday, November 1st. Then lock in your seats for Senior Day against the reigning Big 12 champs, Arizona State, on November 22nd. Great seats are still available at beautiful Folsom Field. Visit cubus.com/tickets or call 303-492-8282 and be there as Ralphie 7 leads the charge for your Colorado Buffaloes.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity, and the other day I'm over at a friend's place. He's pumped to watch football, but his setup, total mess. Lagging, buffering, switching between apps, trying to find a game. He claimed to be a big fan, but I feel like I was being fan-fished. See, if you call yourself a football fan, you gotta have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I can find the best games and my favorite teams all in one place. And the way I watch, well, it's next level. It's the perfect fan flex. I've got all the action right in my living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear it feels like I'm in the stadium. Sometimes I've got 4 games going on at once. Why? Because why not? On top of that, I get real-time notifications, live stats right on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every single time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K cable TV box.
Join Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan and Athletic at Mile High Station on Sunday, October 26th from noon to 2:25 p.m. for the Fan Football pregame show. Get your head in the game and enjoy orange and blue face painting and ice-cold Athletic. Athletic, all in, all game.
Tune into Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Wednesdays at 9:15 to hear ESPN NFL analyst Dan Orlovsky break down Bo Nix and the Broncos every week during football season. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents Dover and Cecil.
Sean Payton said some things need to change from a personnel standpoint after the win against the Giants, and I think the first 3+ quarters of football would certainly back that up. And when it comes to addressing the mistakes, Cecil, Sean Payton had this to say about their plan going forward.
I think you start with who. Who is it we're asking to do certain things from a personnel standpoint? There may be some guys playing time go up and some might begin to diminish, but you look closely at the personnel, then you look at the scheme, and does it fit us? There's a lot to that question, but it's a good question.
Personnel to me with Sean Payton, Cecil.
Right.
Personnel to me is a word that's becoming like a PTSD trigger. Like when I hear Sean Payton talk about it,
Yeah.
it's like, oh God, more formations. He talked about though the who, and then you expand outward from there, and the who being who might need to get more playing time in response to who might need to have less playing time.
Yes.
Cecil, is there anyone that jumps out in your mind that might be getting playing time now that you think needs to maybe dial that back a little bit if you're Sean Payton?
Yeah, if you're Sean Payton, you're looking at RJ Harvey going, why aren't you good? I hate to be that blunt, but you're a running back. You should immediately come in and contribute and look good. It's
arguably one of the easier positions from college to the NFL to
not
jump
even
in
arguably.
right away.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Because you're doing the same thing. You're running to daylight. You're being patient. You're watching your blocks develop. RJ Harvey's head is swimming. The next time I see Bo Nix yell at RJ Harvey to line up the right way, just take him off the field. And you saw what he did on special teams in trying to toe tap on a return.
My God. That was I was sitting there stewing, being like, we have an all all-pro, multi-year, all-pro returner in Marvin Mims. What do we have to do to make sure that the ball just only goes into his hands? I know with the new kickoffs, they want to put 2 returners back because they're fielding it more in play. But can we just make it a rule like, hey, RJ's got to pitch it? Right. You got to hey, come over this way, or maybe Marvin lines up in the middle. That going out of bounds in that situation, trying to toe tap it like you said. It's weird. Putting an offense that already struggles to get out of its own way deeper into their own territory than they would otherwise need to be is a mistake that, frankly, the Broncos offense, in my opinion, hasn't proven they're good enough to overcome consistently.
Well, and you notice Tyler Bidet was in after that. Yeah. On special teams.
Yeah, came out of the second half.
More in on offense. Now, I don't think Bidet is the answer going forward is like, hey, we need more Tyler Bidet. They need to trade for a running back. Tyler Algier is the name that I've named. I think the Breece Hall thing is a little too pie in the sky.
Yeah.
A little bit too fantasy, and you and I are fantasy guys, but that's just it's a little bit too much. If they did it, I would be happy. But Tyler Algier, you've got other options out there. Roschon Johnson, there's other guys you could look at as potential replacements for RJ Harvey. If Sean would only admit he made a mistake.
Do you think that might get to a point, not to go down a wormhole here, but you brought up, you're talking about fantasy and you're bringing up names, and Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier at times has looked like an RB1 behind
former 1,000-yard rusher,
a great RB1 in Bijan Robinson, maybe the best running back in the NFL. But I was watching a game last night, ironically, that made me wonder if that might be happening for somebody else. Do you think the Detroit Lions might get to a point where they say, why are we having Jahmyr Gibbs split touches with David Montgomery?
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the most explosive players in the NFL.
Right.
Certainly one of the most explosive players on the Lions, which is saying something. And I could see it maybe getting to a point with an older running back in Montgomery who's kind of sharing carries there where they maybe move on from him. Is that a direction that you think would be beneficial if we're looking for RJ Harvey trade replacements?
Well, and I think that Montgomery would be next year. They make another run. Detroit goes as far as they can. Plus, their record's too good.
Yeah.
So I could say the same thing about Atlanta or even Chicago.
Yeah. Detroit's a buyer, not a seller.
Right. Detroit's buying out there. They're not. Even the Giants are thinking about buying, which is nuts. But okay, where are the sellers at? And the sellers, you look around, you go, okay, you've got some talent that you could add to this backfield because it creates competition, and competition should breed more productivity. And if you're taking away playing time, as Sean Payton suggested, I think RJ Harvey has to be at the top of the list.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, listen, I've kind of scratched my head or wanted to bang it up against a wall watching. I mean, I keep going back to the Philadelphia game when J.K. Dobbins in a game where the offense was struggling again for a good portion of the game. J.K. Dobbins helps them lead a methodical, drawn-out drive down the field. You get inside the 5-yard line. J.K. Dobbins got you all the way down there, and then you take J.K. Dobbins out of the game at the 3-yard line.
Spoken like a true fantasy GM.
The Vultures. The Vultures.
I hate the Vultures.
Putting in R.J. Harvey at the 3-yard line for an outside toss play that loses a couple of yards, puts you behind the sticks, and you lose a goal to go down.
Right.
So if it's R.J. Harvey down, Tyler Bidet up, I agree with you. Tyler Bidet is not the answer, but to me, it actually should be a conjunction of things. And maybe this goes counterintuitive to the let's protect J.K. Dobbins from a health perspective, but I think that if Tyler Bidet is not the answer and we still need less R.J. Harvey, I just think that means there should be less carries for that secondary back to have to mess around with.
And then that means more for J.K.,
yes.
But J.K. did kind of take offense. I think it was Parker Gabriel that asked him about being injury prone. He's like, I'm not injury prone.
Yes.
Don't you think he's injury prone?
A little bit. Yep. I think you're getting into some, he's like, it's
two major injuries.
Two major injuries. Well, okay.
And
2 major injuries in 5 years. And it was something that happened in college, too, if I'm not mistaken.
And more nagging injuries along the way.
Correct. And again, I understand from JK's perspective wanting to, maybe clear the air or get that off the chest or try to
change the narrative.
Change the narrative from that perspective because JK is embodying what many of us, you and I included, said about Dobbins going into this season, which is when he is healthy, he's a damn good running back.
Right. Top 10 in the league.
There is somebody else that could run the football that I think could help this whole Pam dilemma with R.J. Harvey getting
Hello,
less
Miss Lady.
and Tyler Bidet not being the answer. And that is Bo Nix. Bo Nix has the legs and the athleticism to be a mobile quarterback. In fact, I think it's become pretty prevalent through a year and a half of his NFL career that he prefers to be on the move to make plays rather than operating from a stationary pocket.
Yes.
And again, you talk about things that just like are burned into my brain when Bo Nix has his YouTube channel debut and they put out that episode, right? And everyone's like, oh, you can't do that. The first 3 minutes of the episode were him going through a repetition drill over and over and over again of rolling out of the pocket, trying to hit a throw across his body and on the right side of his body with a specific spot and just critiquing himself every time. So
right.
He clearly likes to be out on the move. And we saw multiple touchdown runs in the fourth quarter, one of which was sick. The Giants could have had 14 defenders on the field, and I don't know they would have stopped Bo Nix on that designed quarterback run.
Right.
So is that something, Cecil, that you think that Sean Payton could and should, maybe needs to lean into more if it means R.J. Harvey goes down in terms of reps and being relied upon, and Bo Nix helps shoulder some of that burden?
I know you're a workout guy, and I know you've done Spartan races, which means you're crazy.
Crazy.
As a distance runner, I'll tell you, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You ever taste your own blood?
Yeah.
Does Bo Nix kind of need that? And I'm not saying taste his own blood, but does Bo Nix need that sort of, getting this good sweat going or getting the blood pumping to his brain? Does he need something to kind of spark his playmaking ability? Because in the fourth quarter, he's throwing flat-footed in the first three quarters.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter, he's out on the run. He's making plays. He's attacking downfield. It's not a bunch of screen passes and short stuff. But is that part of it, of getting involved in the game plan and getting that blood flow, the rush of blood, tasting your own blood, whatever? Is that something to his game? Because it seems like it is.
I think so. Yeah. No, I think that when you talk about tasting your own blood or maybe getting a grasp on mortality in a sense of I think Bo Nix plays football with a lot of noise between the ears. I think he is a hyper-focused worker. He's trying to absorb and process all the information. He wants to put all of the burden on his own shoulders.
Yes.
And I think that is a work ethic and a mentality that has gotten him to the point where he is at now as a person on the doorstep of being a franchise quarterback. But I also think that sometimes that's too much static. That's too much noise going on upstairs, and it's making it he's throwing flat-footed, he's erratic, he is trying to force things or rush things, especially I feel like he forces a lot of throws in the red area when it's bunched up and defenses are able to kind of constrict a little bit. And so I think that these end-of-game situations, it kind of comes to a point where it's like, hey, boys, we're down 2 scores and there's 8 minutes left. We got no other choice but to score here.
Right.
So let's just go out there and do it. And I think that quiets some of the noise of I just got to be me and do what I have to do. And if that means coloring outside the lines, that's what it's going to be, because there is no more time left to say, oh, we still got a quarter and a half, or we get the ball after halftime, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and with Sean Payton, he's going to put a lot on his plate, and you just brought it up. Bo Nix isn't going to say no. Maybe he needs to push away from that plate a little bit.
Maybe. And he is going to.
But he's not going to say no. That's not who he is.
He's not going to say no, but he's going to have to figure out ways to get more of that fourth quarter production sustained throughout 60 minutes of football, because the offense that's coming to town in the Dallas Cowboys, or that the Broncos are about to face, is a serious one. And the offense for the Broncos is going to have to pull their weight to keep pace with Dak Prescott, and I can't believe I'm saying it, Javonte freaking Williams. So we will have plenty to get into in that regard as we look ahead to Cowboys week this weekend. But in the meantime, the Denver Nuggets kick off their season in a couple of days against the Warriors. And you can get a look at what Golden State has left in the tank tonight with the NBA season kickoff. What should we expect from the new look Nuggets? Who is this season's X factor? Just a couple of things that we, and hopefully you, will help us answer coming up next.
After a 2-5 start, Colorado State has fired head football coach Jay Norvell. Read the latest news and information on the changes in Fort Collins at DenverSports.com. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Help DEA
keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, October 25th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whether you're into local craft brews, adventurous cocktails, or ice-cold 29-degree drafts, they've got your drink. Pair it with scratch-made favorites from their special menu. And you've got the perfect way to wind down or turn up. Whatever your vibe, Twin Peaks is your go-to for the best happy hour in the league. See you tonight at Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Mike Evans here for Copperhead Plumbing. Your home doesn't have to flood before you know there's a problem. With the Mow and Flow Smart Water Shutoff System, you can monitor your home's water usage in real time right from your phone. You'll get notified the moment a leak starts. Trust Copperhead Plumbing for professional installation. Ask about installing a Mow and Flow system today.
Copperhead Plumbing, built to last. Call us once, you'll forget the past.
Copperhead Plumbing. They plumb different. They plumb custom.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Colorado can count on.
At Berg Simpson, we are passionate about what we do. We bring that passion and our expertise to the office and courtroom every single day. We're always working hard and are committed to doing everything we can to give our clients the best opportunity to have a great result.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives. It's not just a slogan, it's who we are.
What if you could delay your next 2 mortgage payments? That's right. Imagine putting those 2 payments in your pocket and finally getting a little breathing room ahead of the holidays. It's possible when you call American Financing today. If you're feeling stretched by everyday expenses, groceries, gas, bills piling up, you're not alone. Most Americans are putting these expenses on credit cards, and credit card rates are insane in the 20s or even 30s. American Financing can show you how to use your home's equity to pay off that debt with rates in the low 5s. Their salary-based mortgage consultants are helping homeowners just like you restructure their loans and save money every month, all without upfront fees. Their customers are saving an average of $800 a month. That's like a $10,000 raise without having to change jobs. Call American Financing before it's too late at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. APR for rates in the 5s start at 6.196% for well-qualified buyers. Call 303-695-7000 for details about credit costs and terms.
Okay, Michael. Any other questions about your Select Health insurance?
How much time do you have?
I have exactly as much time as you need.
Wonderful, because I have exactly 112 more questions.
112.
112.
112 it is. Let's do this.
Real people, real answers in real time. Select Health, insurance made simple. Learn more at selecthealth.org.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
You're listening to Dover and Cecil on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Nuggets basketball is almost back.
And you can feel the buzz, not just because we have the assistant coaches and media game going on, I think literally right now.
Yes, should be right now.
With our own Josh Dover, Zach Bai, Jake Shapiro, and Nilo Piro. Very well represented is Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan in this media contest against the assistant coaches. But the season's right around the corner, and it feels like coming off of an off-season, Cecil, where so many truths and facts about the Denver Nuggets were completely proven false, and the narrative was completely corrected. We spent years in the Michael Malone era with Calvin Booth, multiple years, saying they can't go out and make a big splashy trade. They can't break up this core.
Look at the core they've got.
Yeah, their thing is they got to draft and develop. Calvin Booth, got to play the pups, and maybe I'll give you, like a Justin Holiday or an Ish Smith to supplement your bench piece and give you a veteran that you can play in the playoffs kind of thing. But that's it. What we got is what we got. They had the most expensive core four, one of at least, in the NBA. And then those two big swinging you-know-whats in Tenzer and Wallace as the co-executive vice presidents come in. They ship out Michael Porter Jr. to bring in Cam Johnson from the Brooklyn Nets. They bring back one of the key pieces from the title team in Bruce Brown. They sign Tim Hardaway Jr. They bring in, via trade, Jonas Valanciunas, shipping out Dario Saric, maybe the most frustrating contract.
It's amazing they could do that.
So they literally do basically a player-for-player swap with Dario Saric and Jonas Valanciunas to give Jokic and the Nuggets the best backup five since Jokic held that role, I would argue. And so many things that we thought were just law about the Nuggets have been broken going into 2025 and the 2026 season. And I think the reverberating effect of that is it feels like championship or bust here in Denver.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, it's 100% is championship or bust. NBA Finals or bust if you're pessimistic about this season. So, yeah, they've got to put their foot on the gas and take the regular season seriously to begin with. I think the X factor, Dover's X factor for this team was Jamal, being serious.
Yeah.
I think
not
that's
wanting to go MMA fight.
Right, and not wanting to be chubby and out of shape and not take things seriously. I think the X factor for me is Christian. Now, well paid, Christian Brown should be able to take that next step offensively so that he's not someone that's just heart and hustle guy. He's a better defender, and he needs to be better from the perimeter because you notice last year when he'd get the ball at the arc, everyone would just, okay, let him shoot.
Which is crazy, Cecil, because he shot just over 38% from beyond the arc. And
can he get that above 40?
Maybe. I mean, above 40, you're definitely among the elite NBA three-point shooters, at least in my opinion. And that's where that was like Michael Porter Jr.'s only calling card was that he could shoot north of 40 from beyond the arc. Christian Brown is going to be a fascinating watch, I think, this year, fresh off of a 5-year, $125 million extension, but more so because I am going to be curious about how his role changes potentially, or I shouldn't say maybe changes is too aggressive, but shifts or tweaks in this first full season of the David Adelman era. Because last season, he was the poster child and the engine behind so much of their fast break predicated offense. He was one of the better transition scorers in the NBA. He and Jokic were on the same page. They moved with fluidity and rhythm. And I think under David Adelman, who seems to prefer more of the slower pace, but I don't mean that in a negative way, more structured sets and flows to an offense that he can design on a clipboard, which is one of his strengths. I'll be curious to see how that changes perhaps the utilization of Christian Brown.
Right. We'll see if the Nuggets start to set up plays for him to get the ball, to not just go and dribble drive and take it to the rack and throw down a jam, but actually outside shooting with Christian. I think that's something to watch to see if him and Nikola can take that transition stuff and put it more of in a half-court set. And with Nikola, I think anything is possible. That's what KG said. That's what I'm going to say. So with Christian, yeah, I believe it's all on the menu this year. His next step, and I always ask the question, and it's probably on your bingo card, have we seen the best of blank?
Yes.
Have we seen the best of Christian Brown?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
no.
Exactly. We're going to see it this year.
He is a player who went from in a reserve role averaging about 7 or 8 points a game. In his first year as a starter in the Nuggets lineup, he brings that to north of 15, so more than doubling his points per game output. Obviously, he has more opportunity and more minutes to do so, but he was one of 5 players to average 15 points and 5 rebounds while shooting north of 57% from a field goal shooting perspective, and he was the only non-center on the list to do that. So I think Christian Braun shows all the signs, and the Nuggets believe so, as evidenced by the contract extension,
right,
that he can blossom into a legitimate NBA star. What I think will be most prevalent for the Nuggets as it relates to Christian Braun and ways that he can improve in 2025 is if he can get back to having more of an impact defensively than we saw, especially on the perimeter in 2024. If he can be a lockdown perimeter defender to utilize that skill set in 2025, I think it will be a massive lift for the Nuggets, who have struggled with three-point volume shooting offensively.
Yes.
And they need to get better at that. But part of that comes with maybe not finding yourself bleeding in the middle of games because of three-point shooting from other teams as the league continues to kind of increase in that specific category more and more.
Yeah, and that's where Christian can come through, and that's where this team needs him to do that. And to average 16 plus, to average push towards, what do we say, 18? I don't want to say 20. That seems like a little bit greedy, but yeah, if you could get that, that would be awesome. And to stay lethal without MPJ standing around the corner as they got used to. Was that kind of a lazy habit for this offense to be like, yeah, we can move the ball around, and there's MPJ. We always know he's going to be there.
And that's why I actually think if I was to assign an X factor quickly for this Nuggets team in 2025, it would be Cam Johnson. I think Cam Johnson, from a three-point shooting perspective and an efficiency perspective, is a net neutral, if not slight addition on paper right now from MPJ. But the way that Cam Johnson is a better ball mover and a better shot creator than MPJ was when it's not a design set, which so much of the Jokic-predicated offense is about flowing the ball through the different playmakers and movement and finding the open man like water, right? Finding the path of least resistance, and Jokic does that better than anybody else. So the ability for this offense to move through Cam Johnson the way that it was a dead stop when the ball reached Michael Porter Jr., I think is going to unlock so many scoring potential opportunities for more than just Cam across the Nuggets offense.
And the record for this season is what? Because I said 60. ZB was talking 57 to 61 possible. Then he picked 55 in our article at DenverSports.com previewing the Nuggets season. And I said if they get to 55 to 60 games, okay, ZB's right and I'm right. David Adelman is up for Coach of the Year in the NBA. We could look at this much like when Steve Kerr took over for Mark Jackson, and you saw, oh, that's what a well-coached team looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, have we all been giving Michael Malone maybe too much credit? And I appreciate Coach Malone.
100%.
But at the same time, the only motivation factor he had, he'd just play Nikola more, and he'd call everybody soft. How about a real coach gets in here and sees what they could do with the best player on the planet?
Well, that is what we are going to hope unfolds here for the Denver Nuggets. As I agree with what Cecil said, they are in a championship or bust window. I know Christian Braun's extension goes for the next 5 seasons here in Denver, but I don't know that the Nuggets title window lasts as long as Christian Braun is inked to play here for the Nuggets. And this upcoming season, with the additions that they made, may be the best chance that they've had since they won the title to bring another Larry O to Denver, and it may be the best chance that they have for at least the next several years going forward. We will get to find out this coming Thursday when the Nuggets season kicks off. The NBA season kicks off starting tonight with the Golden State Warriors. Coming up next, what else are we going to be keeping an eye on tonight? And maybe a couple of other things that we didn't get to earlier that we will make sure to wrap up before the end of the show. That's next.
After getting walked off twice in the first 3 games of the season, the Broncos walked off the Giants and claimed first place in the AFC West. Say it loud, Broncos country. Let's go Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Heads up, pros. Now's your chance to unlock deeper savings. The Home Depot's new Pro Extra Preferred pricing can help you save thousands on the products your business uses the most. But the current benefit ends November 15th. Don't miss out. Registration for the new program is free and easy. Just bring your tax ID or business or contractor's license to the Pro Desk. Register now to lock in the best wholesale prices before it's too late.
Advent Health is Littleton's home for highly specialized, life-changing heart care. From preventive screenings to personalized treatment options, it's heartfelt care from expert hands. The Advent Health Heart and Vascular Institute is now open, ready to provide wholehearted care for your whole health.
Dan Jacobs with 303 Law 4040. With just a friendly tip here, I like to remind people that they never want to be gambling that the person that hits them has good insurance. So I want you to take a look at your insurance policies. Check and make sure that you have two things. One's called MedPay coverage. You want to make sure you have that. And then also UM/UIM coverage. This will protect you in case you get into an accident and the person that hits you doesn't have good insurance. If you have any questions, just give me a call. 303 Law 4040. That's 303 Law 4040.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer said. I never could have sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Brandon Stokely here from my team, ROX, Rocks Heating and Air. Are you ready for winter? Worries you might need a new furnace? Don't know where to begin? Rocks Heating and Air makes it incredibly easy with their new, free, no obligation online heating and cooling quote. It takes less than 5 minutes and gives you options instantly. No calls, no waiting, and transparent pricing. Only at ROX, Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX rocks heating and air.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's fall football sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
Get ready for every Broncos game with Super Bowl 50 champion Brandon Marshall as he joins the drive every Friday afternoon at 4:45 exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Thanks to Corwin Toyota Boulder. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. DenverSports.com and the Denver Sports app. It's Dover and Cecil on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
The Fan Flyaway is back. Thanks to our friend Dan Jacobs and 303 Law 4040. This time, we're sending one lucky listener and a guest to Phoenix in February 2026 for the biggest party in golf. And I don't think you have to connect too many dots to figure out what I'm talking about there. Here's what you get. 2 tickets to Saturday's round at TPC Scottsdale, round-trip airfare for 2 from Denver, 2 nights hotel stay, and $500 in spending money. For more information and to register, head to thefanflyaway.com. If you've entered one of our previous Flyaway contests, you're already registered for this one. Once you sign up for the Flyaway, you're entered for all future Flyaways. Very important note there, but you still have to, coming up pretty soon, listen for your name to be called. So keep an eye out for that.
Shout out to 303 Law 4040 and one of my favorite giveaways and contests on this station, the Fan Flyaway.
Yes.
Richie Carney sitting in for Josh Dover as he is hitting the hardwood right about now alongside Zach Bai and Nilo Piro and Jake Shapiro and several others here at Denver Sports 1043 The Fan, taking on the Nuggets assistant coaching staff in a little friendly game of pickup basketball against the media.
Right. I like it. I like it a lot. Hopefully they show well for Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
We are fixing to find out, as Gary Kubiak once said. The fellows will be back here in studio a little bit later today, and at least from Zach Bai, we might get a little update on how things went from the former College of St. Rose star on the basketball court. Cecil, there's a lot to get into tonight sports-wise. We now know, thanks to last night's game, what the World Series lineup will be. A little bit of Blue Jays, Dodgers, basically Seattle and Toronto fighting for who gets to get smashed by Shohei Ohtani and the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Right.
But the Avs are in Utah tonight. They still have not lost in regulation, and the Nuggets season opener is at Golden State on Thursday. But the NBA kicks off tonight on NBC or Peacock with the Rockets and Thunder at 5:30, followed by a little Warriors-Lakers. Plenty to keep your eye on tonight, and I know we all will be watching those respective games. But I'll tell you something else I'm going to be keeping my eye on for, Cecil.
What's
I'm going
that?
to be checking my X. I am going to be checking my X for an update from Adam Schefter, from Rap Sheet, from whoever it needs to come from, on the status of the appeal for Dre Greenlaw, who was handed a 1-game suspension for a very stupid reason by the NFL for engaging in unsportsmanlike conduct with referee Brad Allen after a win against the Giants.
Yeah, and Brad Allen putting his hands on Justin Strnad as he's trying to leave the scrum, extends his arms. Again, I feel like an NBA ref here because his elbow was extended, and Dre Greenlaw took issue with that. I mean, my guy don't win in a fight, I'm jumping in. And it seemed like there was a scrum, and yes, Greenlaw went over the line, so I'm not making excuses for him. But also, if you're not allowed to touch an official, which I agree with that, then they shouldn't be allowed to put their hands on you.
Yeah, I think that that's fair. And I think that there's a very reasonable argument to be made that Brad Allen in that situation shouldn't have been where he was. The game was over. And even if that was where you were positioned when the kick went through the uprights for Will Lutz, get the hell out of the way after the game. How many times do we see officials across all sports, but specifically like football and hockey, just hightail it out of the way when a player's running their way? So you're telling me you couldn't do it in that situation?
Right.
The players, as they do in every game-winning situation like that, they gather together at the field, they celebrate, they come from the sidelines, and they have that moment. So I think it's a very fair thing to say that Brad Allen shouldn't have been where he was, and maybe in a perfect world didn't need to give Justin Strnad the little shoulder brush on the way out because Strnad was trying to get past him to get to the scrum.
Right.
The players and all that, as was Greenlaw. I think that's all fair. But Cecil, you can't control what other people do. You can only control how you respond to it.
Sounds like you're a former athlete.
Correct. And even in a team setting in an environment, because again, I feel this way when we talk about like physicality in a gladiator sport. Right. Like, we want our players, between the hash marks to be ruthless, cold-blooded killers. But then when some of that stuff bleeds out beyond that, it's all of a sudden pearl clutching and how did this happen or what could lead to this point, right? So I understand that in a team dynamic, in an NFL locker room, which is the highest of the highest levels of the game of football, that you have this brotherhood mentality and this togetherness of I've got your back and you've got mine. But Dre Greenlaw is not Justin Strnad's keeper. This was not a situation where Dre Greenlaw needed to go out of his way to beeline for a departing official.
Right.
And then verbally engage with him in a potentially threatening manner, allegedly, all that leads to a suspension. You had to take time away from just doing what was supposed to happen, which is celebrating with your team, to go do that. And then you, in Dre Greenlaw, have now put your team in a position where they signed you to a 3-year, $31.5 million contract in free agency. You were, because of complications with injuries, unable to participate in mandatory minicamp, in OTAs, in training camp, in the preseason and in the first 6 weeks of the NFL regular season, which featured a stint on injured reserve. They finally get you back for one game in which they needed every single player and every single second and every single yard to accomplish the feat that they accomplished in coming back.
21
to
snaps
beat the
for
Giants.
Greenlaw, 6 tackles.
Yeah.
They needed all of it.
They needed all of them. And then you put that team in a position that invested you the way that they did, that needed you the way that they did up to this point, to then get you back for one game, and they've got to be without you again because you wanted to jaw off at Brad Allen, the official.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems short-sighted, and I'm going to say a word that might come across the wrong way, but I think it's true. It was selfish.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
selfish
You put
in that
yourself
moment.
and your emotions over the
Yes.
team and the situation.
And I don't think Dre Greenlaw's a bad guy by any means. I don't think that he was necessarily thinking of it that way in that moment. Obviously, emotion was taking the forefront of the stage.
Yeah, incredibly emotional.
But it just frustrates the hell out of me, Cecil, for a team that is in sole position of the AFC West, which we did not. I don't think any of us, as good as we may have seen the Broncos season coming into 2025, I don't know
I
that
said
we were
they'd
like,
win 13 games. I never said that, hey, in week 7, they're going to be at the top of the AFC West.
right, because you don't predict the Chiefs to come out the way that they did
Right,
and kind of
right.
sputter on the upswing.
I did predict the Chargers choking because that's what they do. So
Sure,
here we are.
Sure. But anyways, regardless of what we may have thought in before the season, in the offseason, or what we may have thought a handful of weeks ago, the Broncos are in first place in the AFC West, which was the case when this interaction happened. The game was over, and with the schedule they have in front of them, with the opponent they have next on the schedule in the Dallas Cowboys, and with the importance of these games as Kansas City continues to figure it out, the Chargers, even though they've been sputtering, are still within striking distance. But the AFC landscape as a whole is as topsy-turvy and wide open as it's been in recent memory.
Oh, yeah.
So all of that culminates, to me, with a Broncos team that has very much to play for and very little margin for error to be able to overcome.
Oh, yeah.
And a short-sighted, emotionally charged decision like that with Dre Greenlaw, to me, has my brain already worried about, are we going to be talking about how Dre Greenlaw's absence impacted the game against the Cowboys on Monday of next week?
Oh, no
That's
doubt.
where my brain's at.
No doubt. They're facing a guy that's having a historic beginning of the season, and Jake Ferguson.
Yeah.
Yes, Jake Ferguson is having a historic tight end season in the NFL, and now you're down your best inside linebacker. So this is a problem. But I want to ask a philosophical question. Can I get deep and personal with you?
Let's get crunchy.
Okay, so, well, maybe not less, a little less crunchy. And we're already deep and personal because you know the bro code.
Yes,
so
sir.
you could completely embarrass me if you wanted to. If I ever
And
cross
don't you
ways
forget it.
with Richie Carney, he's going to release all the dirt. But anyway, my question is merely this. Do you, as an older gentleman, you're not as old as I, you're on the younger side here at the Fan.
Okay.
Do you take your vitamins? Do you eat your vegetables? Do you do things maybe that aren't the most fun, right? Like I love cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
I could eat cinnamon rolls every single night, but then I'd be 300 pounds.
Yeah.
I got to eat vegetables. I got to eat my spinach. I got to take my vitamins. Don't you feel the Broncos are missing out? They're getting the taste of the cinnamon rolls,
Yes.
but not having to eat the spinach. And they're not gaining weight. They're like not taking the L. I think the L is the punishment. In a way, the way that they've been winning is perhaps detrimental because of merely this. You're playing like crap for 3 quarters. You're pulling it out in the 4th quarter. Amazing victories. But then at the same time, you're not really learning the lessons because you didn't get embarrassed, because you didn't lose to a Giants team, because you're winning these games in this fashion. It's almost like, are they learning the lesson?
Right.
Do they need to eat their vegetables in a way and kind of like take the L? And I think every team needs that reset before they make a playoff run. We're too close to talk about that, really.
Yeah.
But this team is kind of getting away with it. They're getting the glamour. They're getting the glitz. They're getting the glory. And they're doing it by playing bad football.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the wrong message to receive.
I asked that exact question to James Palmer on Monday after the game. I said, James, I understand how a win like the Broncos pulled out against the Giants, from a camaraderie perspective, from a locker room perspective, connectivity amongst the staff, the players, up and down the organization, how a win like that, as statistically improbable, borderline impossible that it was, can help to galvanize a unit, can bring together, can instill that belief that says, hey, we truly are never down and out, right? That was the Tebow Mania mantra, right? It doesn't matter if we're down 14 points with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. We can do this. We know it. We've seen it. We've done it. And we've proven it. So I get all that, and that's true. But I think there is an equal opportunity for a win like that to mask some of the deficiencies that got you in that situation in the first place. When I hear Sean Payton step up to a microphone and get asked about the play calling and say, no, I think we're comfortable with how we're operating as an offensive staff.
Right.
Seriously? Seriously. With that dud against the New York Jets and then 3+ quarters against the New York Giants, when you could even back it up further to stints from almost every game of more than a quarter of football.
Oh, yeah.
Where the Broncos offense has looked like they don't know what they're doing.
Right. They're out of sort.
They look like they don't know what they're doing, and they can't figure out why it's not working. And both of those things are equally concerning.
That's a terrible combination.
Yeah. So when I hear something like that, now Sean Payton was very measured in saying like, hey, we're going to, we can enjoy this and celebrate it tonight, but tomorrow's not going to be as fun, and I respect that. And I think Sean, for the most part, has had a pretty even-keeled approach and level head. He doesn't try most of the time to get too far over his skis in celebration, just like he doesn't try to get too down in the doldrums. He
gets over his skis in August when he's talking about Super Bowl and Bo Nix is going to be a
Double
top 5
lattes.
quarterback. Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that Sean Payton has shown too many signs of that happening, but with those same players who are galvanized and feeling good about the win and proving to themselves that they can do it. You got Garrett Bowles kind of finger wagging at fans. Don't leave early. It was fine if you left early. Let's just be real. That was a terrible game for that long. Frankly,
don't tell fans how to fan.
No, exactly. And Bo Nix, Patrick Surtain says he lost faith. Bo Nix is talking about how he's thinking on the sideline, on the bench, about how he's going to answer questions about how crappy they played.
Right. You saw the bench shots before the comeback when he's on the bench, his head, hands on his head.
Yeah.
He didn't know.
I was thinking how much egg is potentially going to be on the Broncos' face that they laid this performance on DT's Ring of Fame Day and the Super Bowl 50 reunion.
Nick Benito got to going after Giants fans and deleting the tweet and all the noise.
The entire state of New York would have just descended on Broncos Twitter. But it didn't happen that way, and I think that that's great. It puts the Broncos in the position that they're in the standings, in the division, in the AFC. But at some point, the rubber has to meet the road with these changes to the offensive side of the football specifically, and I don't know what evidence we have to draw from that that's going to be the case. Going into the Jets game at Tottenham Hotspur, Sean Payton was talking about how from the previous weeks, there have been things that, third down, moving the football, running the ball with enough consistency and volume to balance the offense. All things that we've worked on, they're just not translating.
Right.
Which, again, I'm like, who needs to be paid in there to figure it out? If you can't, and you know everything, right? You're the biggest, Sean's the smartest guy in the room, just ask him. Right? So